I hate G2. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate these. I hate you. I hate them. Please lose, bro. Please.
Welcome back to the Esports World Cup presenting.
I do, bro.
As we see the ALJ walk-on-ins here, as we have both squads, Top Esports and G2, doing battle for the final spot in the first ever finals of EWC League of Legends up against T1. Top Esports have already toppled one team from the LCK. They'll be looking to make it back-to-back 2-4-2, but standing in their way, the kings of Europe. It is G2. G2 took down FlyQuest in their first matchup after taking a loss, but they gathered themselves and found the form that they need to become winners of the tournament. Welcome back. Degon here in the area alongside Ox and Atlas, the AA. Right back on in here.
Heck
How
yeah.
you guys doing?
Pretty good. I think we've got a hype matchup on our hands. Obviously, last time these two teams met at MSI ended up being a wash for G2.
It's not going to happen this
that
time.
Top Esports displayed against Gen G, I feel like it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I feel like Top
I
Esports
feel like,
can be absolutely anything on any given day. We saw them be extraordinarily
drafts
good
were
on
goated,
their
I
day
believe.
against Gen G. And I'm looking forward to seeing which version of them we're going to get here today, because G2 tend to play up to their opponent or play down to their opponent. We
Yes.
saw the downside. I'm hoping that we get to see the upside.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is such a great call there for G2. Another squad who, from the West, has worked their way on up and surprised people and now have the opportunity on the international stage to do so yet again. But these two teams are familiar with each other as we take a look at the rosters here. Top Esports, 369, TN Cream, Jackie Love, and Ameko. Very familiar with each other as they did battle.
I mean,
over
if they
at MSI.
draft,
Yeah, I
if they
feel
get
like
the
Volley is
draft
a big
gap
fan
as well as they
favorite.
did
Obviously,
last time, it's a
Ameko,
wash.
Huge in their region.
Actually had a good
both
read.
of them world champions as well. And 369, a lot of people looking at that top
Hey,
lane and the
Tonka,
huge
can
impact
you
he
stop
can make
flaming
on
players
those tank
that are way
picks.
better
We
than
saw that
you?
already.
the
His
fuck up.
Mordekaiser
Even get
absolutely
their match
pivotal, and it's
You
a
want
pick
us to be
that our
quiet, so
LCK teams
please
have
do it
struggled with
yourself.
outside of
You
Gen G
little
specifically.
washed-up
They're the ones that
diamond
have been
player.
able to
Not a
pilot
diamond player.
that pick. They didn't look like they could play against it very well up against Top Esports in their first matchup. So this is Top Esports coming in with fantastic form. When I think
Yeah, these
MSI,
drafts were
it
good.
really wasn't the Top Esports that we were hoping to see at that particular tournament.
Yeah, and I think particularly the drafts really made so much sense. A lot of cohesion. I feel like this one stood out as well. The fact they have like the triple failure, the stun passes you saw in this fight in particular.
Actually, yeah, that
You
fight.
know,
Wait,
we
I
see
forgot.
Kennedy go in
We just
and
watched it
it's
yesterday, but Tom actually
CC
played
chain,
really
makes it
well.
so hard to function. And I think, you know, you can have good drafts and still lose games. A big part of it is understanding the limits and how to play your draft. And I feel like they completely nailed that against Gen G.
Yeah, I think something that Tien showing here, how strong Sejuani has been. It's starting to shoot up in priority with the setup. Again, we all have talked about and known the AP jungle meta, but Sejuani now being a very, very good pick.
And it's been huge for Chen as well, because he is a player who has had a
We'll see.
bit of a rough international record. So for him to have a good start in this tournament is really positive.
Yeah, but he'll be doing this against G2, Broken Blade.
I think all five combined weigh like 130 pounds, by the way.
Again, iteration out of iteration, always finds a way to grow. Starts with that man in the mid lane, Caps.
Yeah, Caps has been absolutely incredible, and I think they've also cracked the code here at MSI as well. Caps, a phenomenal Tristana player. We saw this at
He's
MSI.
a one
He was
trick,
incredibly
by the
good.
way.
But I think another
Just
thing
ban
that they've realized
Tristana.
is that this
can't
is the
play
pick
Corki.
to watch out for. And
He
it's
got
not
bodied
the Corki.
1v1
We've seen so many
by
people
Quad God.
prioritizing this Corki,
God Quad.
and it hasn't necessarily
He can
worked out. I
only
think
play
Top Esports
Triss.
probably the most
By the way,
successful team
G2's
with the pick.
just not
But
even
if
playing
you
today
get Caps
if
on
FlyQuest
Triss,
doesn't
I
troll.
think that is the way that
So
G2 are
we're
gonna
just so we
look
remember
the
how
most in
yesterday
this
went,
series.
guys.
All right.
If
We have
FlyQuest
a quick
just
game
doesn't
because we
first
gotta
pick
get to the
Corki
game
instead of
with
Triss,
Jackie Love right now. Let's send it on
and
over to
doesn't grief every game they had a lead in, G2's
Everyone,
not
this
playing.
is Kitty for the
Just so we're
pre-match
clear.
interview between Top Esports and G2. By my side is Jackie Love, the Esports. My first question is going to be about meta
Oh, the delay's on their
and
side.
how bottom lane has adapted due to the amount of champions like Zeri, Ashe, and Ezreal coming into play. 那么首先欢迎杰克选手来到我们的赛前采访。我想问一下，就是14.13
What is
版
happening?
本，这次我们看到下路会出现很多泽利呀、EC 还有寒冰。那么这种有资源的英雄，对于你们这次来到打 G2 的
Oh, she said it in English.
改善呢？
因为现在
Oh, she said it in English for. Oh, she translated it herself.
重要嘛。然后像什么
Oh, shit.
ET 泽利 就这种
flex
最好是能自己玩，而且就是能在下路自己混线的英雄。
Oh, the flex.
阵亡率可能会高一点。对，然后打 G2 的话，可能我们想的可能是要选的比他们强一点，然后就好打一点。
First of all, I believe that this meta is mainly focused around mid lane, and playing champions like the Ezreal, Zeri, and Ashe, it's more about comfort. And
Is she translating both ways while interviewing?
For my next question,
Wait, what the?
Gen G and how you guys were able to 2-0 that team, being the first seed of LCK. So I wanted to ask about the confidence level about going into G2. 那么首先，昨天你们打败了真 G 是2-0嘛？那么今天队伍的整个状态还有自信怎么样？
今天其实就昨天赢完，其实大家感觉状态都还不错，然后今天也就比较有自信。
So yesterday we had a lot of confidence, and also coming in today we still have the same amount of confidence.
The voiceover? Anyway, it's the same
For
person.
my last question, of course, is going to be about any specific champions that you are going to look out for up against G2. I wanted to ask, so will we see something like the Mundo priority from you guys that we saw from G2 yesterday? 那么我想问一下，就是今天打 G2 的这个 BO3，因为我们昨天有看到 G2 选出蒙多这个英雄，那么对你们来说会把这个
No, it's delayed. I think it's a production problem.
蒙多这个英雄的话，我觉得就是
His voice is delayed as well.
就是主要是看阵容吧。如果我们选的一个，如果觉得伤害
I think it's all just
不是
actually.
很高的话，有可能处理。但是如果
I think
够
she
的话
actually
也
just
处理
translated
这就
live.
看等等怎么选。
So I think Munder is going to be a champion that we will pay attention to. However, it is going to be dependent on the situation, and we'll see
Not
from
me, I
there.
already refreshed.
谢谢
Not
杰克
me.
来到我们 joining the interview. I really appreciate it.
Not me.
G2. Let's talk about yesterday. Let's start there. Let's talk about the game against FlyQuest, because we've seen you guys perform against them at MSI. Were you expecting it to be such a close series?
Actually, no. I think we have been coming here and scrimming some of
G2's
these
coach.
Eastern teams, and we've been playing very well, and we expected actually to win quite convincingly.
Trash!
Unfortunately, it wasn't our finest gameplay. I think game one in particular, we were in a winning position, and then we're just playing very careless. So I really hope we can clean it up and tighten up our gameplay today.
You have a pretty important match coming up as well against Top Esports, a team that you've already knocked into out of that lower bracket actually at MSI. So a little bit of revenge for them on the side there too. They knocked out Gen G yesterday. Are you worried?
I think historically we've done very good against top. I think it's a good matchup for us. But when playing these top Eastern teams, I think there's always that skill check that you need to pass. So we need to be very sharp. We need to
Yeah, kind of like FlyQuest. You guys almost lost to
FlyQuest.
FlyQuest. I will say it until the day I die.
So
You
it sounds
almost
like
lost to
having
FlyQuest.
the small details under lock and key. How do you do that between yesterday to today? Because it's such a short turnaround.
Yeah, we don't have much time. Mostly, we're just talking
Oh,
about
excuse.
our draft.
Look, EU coping. Cry about it.
Strategical direction we want to go for the series. They showed a very different set of champions yesterday than what they play back in China. So I think that we have to adapt and come up with a new, kind of like the next level of counter picks.
It feels like every single team we've seen so far when it comes to their drafts, they're spicing it up a little bit in any way, shape, or form. What do you think is the reason behind that?
I think the jungle diversity is really what makes a lot of these drafts very interesting. There's just a huge difference between playing something like Zyra or Brand jungle and playing something like Sejuani jungle or playing something like Lee Sin or Viego. So just even from one position, it changes the way your entire comp wants to play around these picks. So I think that's where it kind of comes from. And then also, of course, all the AD carries. T1 is playing a lot of AD carries.
Yeah, that we've seen. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Good luck in your game.
You mentioned T1, so the fans started
And
cheering.
Dion, back to you.
Are only
Thank
T1
you very
fans
much,
there?
Jenny, again, great to hear from both sides of this matchup. Again, not a lot of time before we head on into this one. So reminder for our friends at home, if you want to play, now's the time. STC predictions are the way to go. Head on over to www.stcplay.gg and make your Preds known. Time for our Preds here. Where are you going with this one here, Ops?
Top.
You know, the heart says Top Esports, and the brain also says Top Esports.
All right, Atlas, quick.
Yeah, I'm thinking the other direction. My heart says G2, but my brain also says Top Esports.
All right, semifinals number 2
wait,
starts
who do you
right
got?
now. Let's head on over to the Kadia Arena.
Wait, what do you got, bro?
Hello and welcome back to the arena. And
Kinga, what's up, bro? Let's not hype up the crowd this game, please.
Ready for our second semifinals match. But before then, Fancy, I gotta react because that last semifinals was so close. How are we feeling in here about that last semifinals?
What an amazing.
Everybody left
game
after
it
T1
was.
won. God
T1
damn it, these
almost
pieces
did
of
not
shit.
Make it to the grand final, but that clutch, that owner play when he stole that Baron, it was the key moment for them to take on the game and then just move on to the grand finals. But
he lost
right
his
now,
voice.
We are ready to introduce to you the second semifinals of the Esports World Cup presenting League of Legends.
Up first on the stage, please welcome Top Esports!
Woo!
In the top lane, 369. In the jungle, Tian. Mid lane, Cream.
Got a few LPL fans, thank God.
AD carry, Jackie.
If it was only EU, there'd be nobody here. Nobody's a fan of that shithole region.
And support, Mako.
Now that I think about it, do you guys think a single person from EU or NA flew out here? I gotta think no. I don't think I've seen a single NA or EU fan. Just LPL, LCK.
And now, for their opponent, please welcome to the stage, G2.
Boo, man, boo.
In the top lane, Broken Blade. And in the jungle, Yike. And in the mid lane, give it up for Cubs. And in the ADC role, Hans Sama.
What? That smug face he makes.
And right by his side, Mickey X. The most crowned team in the West, looking to spread their wings and soar through a familiar opponent in this best of 3.
Will the team captains please take their keys to their starting positions and give the arena and everybody at home, give a warm welcome to your semifinalists.
Please stop.
Only 2 more keys to be crossed at the Esports World Cup before history is made. So let the League of Legends games begin!
Man, we almost had this shit. It's fine, bro. Just move on. It's fine. Just move on. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. They better not. I'm trying to hype up caps.
Thank you very much, Kangas, for setting the stage here alongside Fancy for our second semifinal, Top Esports versus G2. We got to see a little like coy, not even coy, just happy to be there waved by 369 as he got it. In. Love that part about the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like both these teams, a lot of pressure on them, one step away from the finals. And honestly, with how they've been playing so far, I think Top Esports currently tournament favorites. If G2 could topple them, they may inherit that title. So a lot of pressure on this, and I think the first game is going to be a really big one, especially since both teams have been shown to be a bit creative in those drafts. Getting that first advantage could really come through strong.
And also being the team with side selection as well. First seed, of course, in G2 up against second seed in TES. And so that does mean that G2 might have that little bit of an extra edge to try and get a leg up in the series. I don't necessarily feel like it is going to work fully in their favor, but hopefully they can utilize first pick.
Range, bro. Yes, we see. Right, well, yes, guys, the camera's on your little fancy notepad. We all saw it, bro. Okay, you happy? We saw it. You're woohoo.
And Joshi.
You gotta make sure that the camera saw that, by the way. Like, okay, we get it,
for
bro.
Breaking it all down as we are getting ready for game number 1 of
all right, we got bans. What do we got?
Up against G2, and right off the bat,
okay, no Ivory, that's all you play. This Yike guy played like dog shit yesterday.
Surprise. We saw how
dog shit.
TES were able to use that yesterday in their matchup up against Gen G. And
again, they have a Trist one trick on their team. Caps only character he's been able to play.
Odd picks right out of the gate. But one of the things that I did hear our studio say before, they said a lot of brains, a lot of hearts seem to be on TES. Surprised that it is that dominant, because we have to remember that G2 actually
like, look, another LeBlanc ban. Is it really that bad? I just have never seen it
happen.
play.
And you know, coming
like
into a best of 3, I think it always makes it more volatile.
You never see it in solo
queue.
queue.
We could easily see G2 pick up the win here tonight. I think it is going to be a very even matchup. I do agree with you, Joshi. And I think we're going to learn a lot from this first draft. I think draft has been, as always, a big highlight of discussion here in this tournament, EWC. And let's see what this first pick will be. Looks like the Tristana is open, so that will be the choice.
Makes a lot of sense. Corki
okay, we yoinked that. Okay, GG. He cannot play the Corki side of this matchup.
Large variety of different champions here in the mid lane. One of the things that I am noticing quite a bit is that Red Side actually has won a lot more games here at this event than it has in previous ones. Simply because we've been seeing so many cool counter.
Yep, he cannot play that. We've won.
One game, oftentimes in a best of 3, you can completely turn things on its head. And I'm expecting this first half of the draft to be relatively normal. I'm looking at things like the Leona, the Nautilus still coming out here. Potentially even a jungler as well to make sure that G2 has a solid core to start with.
Well, we're going to see Anivia and Nunu, so trying to bring the Frost in, and it will be Sejuani for the third hover and pick.
Don't spice it up too much.
Definitely a couple of very high
put Yike on
Sejuani in the jungle.
It has no hands.
And let's see what Top Esports will respond with, as we haven't seen too much Nidalee in this tournament. This could be a decent angle to go for it, but with the priority on Ezreal very high, perhaps it's just Ezreal Leona.
This channel has no emotes? Holy shit. Yeah, bro, we don't do that. Dude, you can spot the EU viewers, so it's so easy to spot the EU viewers because you go to every like EU stream, right? And it's like the cringiest cat emotes. They're like the most ADHD, 0 IQ shit. They're all spamming and all their chats are just unreadable on Twitch. Unreadable. They're spamming emotes constantly.
Both teams really ready to roll. The big thing that I'm going to be looking at for G2 is how much more Freljord can they actually pick up for themselves. We have seen that this has been such a strong combination.
It's all of them. So every EU streamer has the same chat.
How easy it is to lock down single targets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they did go Leona.
Has to be the
expected.
First ban. If
they
it's
picked
not
Braum
the
into
ban,
it.
it's the
Also
second
expected
ban for Top Esports. As we are going to see the Renekton taken down. And definitely is one of those big picks for 369 up in the top side. So they want to open up the potential to go ahead and pick something that's a bit tankier up there without the fear of getting countered, as the Ashe is going to be the first ban in this second phase.
Ashe?
Big surprise there. It is a big.
So they have Braum, but no Ashe this time. I like that ban.
Kalista has largely fallen off from this meta, especially because of the changes to opportunity on this most recent patch. However, there are going to be a lot of options still available for Han Summit. The Draven that he has been famous for so long is still available.
Draven is so bait.
Only
They
ban one
picked
of them,
Braum.
and in fact,
You really want to play
Draven
against Braum?
So there are still some very powerful priority picks here for Han Summit.
Yeah, there definitely are. You saw Dylan talking
but
a lot
Hans
there
also
in the
plays.
back,
I thought they
as
both play Draven actually.
Being hovered here, perhaps trying to get a bit more aggressive.
It's actually not bad here because he has Braum.
You know, if you can start it off in near terms, Draven Braum does do a lot, but it will be the Sivir.
Where's the Sivir pick coming from? People screaming with Sivir or something?
Come through.
Sivir Braum's good.
Are powerful with Ezreal just kind of winning every bottom lane, kind of no matter what. It does make a lot of sense to have the option to have a scaling pick. However, as we saw in that last game from T1, it did take a long time for the Sivir to come online.
Ooh, no Zyra ban!
Power spikes coming in well before that, with the Zyra coming in as well for Tian. We did see that this was the one game that Top Esports really struggled with, where Tian never got off the ground on the Zyra pick, and G2 is going to have to look to do something similar.
Yeah, I mean, the Cassante feels pretty safe here, regardless of what Broken Blade does want to play, especially with the Renekton taken off the board. Skarner nowadays doesn't feel great. Never really did into the Cassante, so let's see what we are going to see in the top side for Broken Blade. It's not going to be
Gragas.
Well, it's just going to be Xin Zhao or the Sejuani.
Top.
They've got a choice here. Let's see what they do land on.
It's been a long time since I've seen a Xin Zhao in a solo lane, gotta admit that one, but it does make a lot of sense that Sejuani could be going towards the top
I like
side.
Xin. I think Xin's such a good champion, actually.
Coming out from Yike in the
I
jungle.
mean, not gonna lie, I think G2 draft's better, unfortunately for
make sure you have some of this.
Fine though, because I have no hand. Fine, and Caps will lose that mid matchup.
Caps and Hansama to the points that they need to be at. Ultimately, though, I gotta say I like the top esports draft quite a bit better in this one. It feels as though they have a diverse damage profile, whereas on the other side, 369, you can build out Randuins and never die.
Yeah, it feels like
doesn't matter.
You know, if
Sivir can
369
hit
gets through the laning phase very well, you've already got just this incredibly strong mid game for the side.
I'm trying to switch my overlay like I was playing.
And the Tristana, I feel like, are all going to spike before the stuff we see on the side of G2. So G2, if they get ahead, yes, definitely can do some damage in this one, but I do fear for them if they fall behind, because top esports could easily run away with the game with this draft.
One of the things we do know about both these teams, though, is they are not shy of fighting relatively early on, and sometimes it doesn't matter if you have a good or bad mid and late game if you just win early on, and that is something that I'm going to be looking for from G2. You definitely need to be trying to get this lane swap going off early on, because you do not want to challenge that 2v2 in the bot lane.
Yeah, you would assume that would be the first step. You know, Team Liquid was able to have a lot of success in the early games up against T1 in our first series that we did have here at Esports World Cup for the games today in the semifinals. So let's see what the second semifinal is going to look like here between Top Esports and G2 as we are just about ready to hop on the rift here for game number 1.
As we start to load in, I gotta say, Valdez, I love these shots that we're always getting at the beginning of all of these games. You have so much freedom to just see the entire map, and just the artistry that we always see in League of Legends never ceases to impress. But as we jump into this one as well, I'm going to be looking quite a bit at how Yike is going to be pathing early on in the game. He can work with Sejuani. These two champions synergize very well together. However, you have to be very careful what targets you're actually going to be going for. You can go into the Cassante, but you can block a lot of that crowd control, whereas the other side, it's still an Ezreal where you're going to have to be trying to jump on top of. And, you know, Ezreal is well known for being hard to get onto.
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like, you know, if they were going to go for that more aggressive lane with the Draven Braum, I actually might have liked it a bit more, just really doubling down on the laning phase, trying to get some big wins early on, but as you mentioned, you know,
no lane swaps, so we're actually going to fight this out.
Just feels so powerful that, yeah, he just kind of wins. He just kind of wins all the lanes. It kind of feels like the bot lane equivalent of Tristana right now, where it's like, okay, you got Tristana. You're going to win the mid lane. Like, that's going to happen 9 times out of 10.
Especially against Caps, you'll win.
As we are looking at this, though, it does not look like G2 is going to be obviously opting into those lane swaps that I was really expecting to see in this one.
No, they're not cowards. They'll fight it out.
Mickey down towards the bottom side as well. So
no early wards.
No jungle shenanigans in this early game. You do have some tools to clear out the wave, but the wave clear from Sivir takes a little while to come online.
Boomerang as a fidget spinner.
Press W at level 1 and clear the wave.
So I know what I'm talking about.
Get some push, but this is also a lane where you need to be very careful because you only have 1 spell shield. It turns out Leona has 2 crowd control.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough, and you got to be careful about timing that correctly to actually avoid the stun. As
nice little early trade.
Very early on, Mako level 1, putting on the pressure here.
Take it, not afraid.
You know, in fact, the Ezreal Leona.
That's how real League players play.
1, so I do like that they are getting aggressive and trying to put on some pressure and chip away at the health bars of the G2 bottom lane.
Yeah, spam it.
Going right back.
Let's go. Skill check these pussies.
Going in for these very quick trades. That's the mark of how you actually win this bottom lane, because the longer the trade actually goes, the more the Braum passive really starts to kick in. You don't want to be taking those stuns. And
yeah, get onto that turret, bitch.
They're going to be able to crash this wave relatively early on, and that means that as the wave will bounce back towards
push next wave, get an early tier.
It's going to be really difficult for Yike to do anything.
Pretty nice cue there from Hansama, actually getting the forward and the backward.
Back in his passive.
Pushes of that one. But yeah, basically need whatever you can get.
Back in his passive, so you cue the wave, nice.
Which is kind of why you were expecting perhaps the swap to come through. But yeah, I mean, essentially, you know, with your top and jungle synergy that you do have, maybe we will see eventually Yike
want the
heading
pressure,
up to the
so we're
top
not
side,
actually
trying to bully 369 out and not just give him a free lane.
He can't get hit by that, though.
Is being stacked up here on a Jackie Love, who will just have Dark and shift away. As Tian now coming down to the bottom side.
I mean, this is a fast. Zyra clears fast.
Not a big surprise that he's here so much faster than Yike, but the question is, what is Yike going to do as the Zyra does step on as the plate goes out?
Yeah, the door will be held here as Arud could get some big.
Oh my God! He trolled a stun. For you!
Has to flash as well. Jackie Love.
Oh, what is Jackie Love doing? You had a fucking summoner spell trade, you bum.
Fine. Pressure down here in the bottom lane.
Lots of pressure coming out.
Nervous?
Lots of summoner spells invested as well, and Yike just farming up, maintains equality. They should have a very good idea.
Just keep poking him.
Which is why Tian is playing so cautiously at the moment. But with
Wait,
these
he's
low
still
health
not
bars,
done clearing?
You know a dive is coming.
Yeah, the dive will be coming. The flash does come in. That's a nice spell shield. Mako could be in a bit of trouble. First blood does go over to Hansama as it does get
auto
traded back
off,
here
and he
over
actually doesn't
to
get aggro.
TM. But still, so many low health bars here. As Mako,
it is what it is.
you know, the first one to go down. I feel like G2 kind of get out of that one mostly scot-free.
The fact that the kill goes over to Hansama is a pretty big win for the side of G2.
Zyra's not bad with gold, so it's fine.
Zyra does mean that the
Cap's already down
clear speed
TP,
is going to be
terrible trades
absolutely
constantly.
A great amount of patience coming through from Yike to make sure that
Imagine if
they
he
can
doesn't
trade
get the
things.
auto off. I
Unfortunately,
think he still dies to
the
red, maybe.
attack had already gone out, and that means that there is no escape for Mickey. But overall, G2 holding pretty strong in this early game.
Yeah, they definitely are, as now Mickey X level 3.
Oh, well, broken bitch. Getting bodied up there, 1v1, bro.
Just heading into the mid lane, trying to help out a little bit, but Cream gets a pretty nice back timing himself after Caps had already TP'd into the lane. So he's going to return with full health, whereas Caps, you know, went back, got a tier, got a call, but does not have a refillable potion. And
tabs
used his
again.
TP to get back in here and took that chunk of damage. So could definitely influence the way this mid game plays out
Both
here for a
often
little
to
bit.
Cole.
Also, shout out to Mako for making sure that the wave didn't get into too bad of a position, just constantly asking questions of how G2 were going to play it as they go back towards the bottom lane. Game very even early on, which I have to say is a small win here for G2 because they were able to turn around that early play. We do notice that...
Oh, I'm hate watching. I don't give a shit. I'm full hate
gold lead
watching.
elsewhere is actually mostly in favor of G2. It really just is Tian who has built up that lead because they farm faster, they did get their first kill. But we do have to say that the kill going over to Hansama makes up for the fact that they are down a lot of CS, which is, again, why we're expecting this lane swap.
Yeah, it doesn't come
They are
through.
down
They
a
just
lot.
want to fight it straight up, and Hansama eventually will just be able to press a couple of buttons and clear the wave. And
Hatred will
essentially
consume
just
you? I don't
ignore
give a
the
shit.
Ezreal. So,
Consume me.
could be something to look for as this does come along. For now, though, we're still putting on the pressure, and guess who's back? Back again. It's Tien in the bottom lane.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend. I mean, he's going to make it very obvious, too. He's clearing out the wards.
Yep.
He's like, hey, guys, I'm here. And G2 will have to respect this. They do back away. Nice dodge
Ah,
here
they
on the
hit
roof.
that.
Still a lot of damage being done to the Braum as he gets stunned straight
You
up.
have to expect the... I mean, he's a support player, maybe not.
But it's still a very effective
Maybe they can
gank.
cancel the back? I mean, they're pretty much trio laning bot lane.
Playing around every single one of these waves, just going down there as Tiana and giving Jaculov and Mako so much pressure on the map means that Mickey X has to back away,
-1.
and you're going to be giving over those plays.
Oh,
You
I
don't
actually-
necessarily need
-1.
to be getting these kills, but we're also seeing some of the ramifications.
Yep, there it is.
of
Caps
the
can only
later
play the
back
Triss
coming
side,
through
I'm
from
telling you.
Cream.
It's fine.
Still has both of
He's
those
down, he's up
available
CS, but
plays.
doesn't
Slots
matter.
and Caps
He's
completely
gonna get a
out of
terrible
mana
back
is
here
really
eventually.
here. Top Esports doesn't look like they're done paying attention to the bot lane.
Because he
Yeah,
has
I mean,
negative
Tim,
prio.
He can just sit here and be very, very annoying. He wins
Zyra is
in
annoying.
the 2v2 just because the amount of plans, the amount of control he's going to have before Yike can really get going, especially because the Sivir early on is just so weak compared to the Ezreal. So it's just kind of a roaming three-man squad down here. And here comes Cream trying to get in onto Caps as the auto comes in and the hop over the wall.
I had a scratch on my hip, so I missed Caps getting solo killed, like I said, because he can't play Corki. He's a Tristana one trick. I told you. He's baited you to believe he can play both. He can only play Triss in that matchup. I don't know why FlyQuest didn't see that. And last pick the Triss. Bro, this is all 1v1 under turret. It's embarrassing. The best in the West. Bullshit.
As well, you can expect them to roll this into an early Infernal Drake, which is going to benefit everybody. And we'll see if they do start that. Not just
There's a
yet.
solo
Here's
kill.
the replay in the 1v1.
This one fairly
I told you this
straightforward,
was
right?
coming.
Cream just jumps on in, knows that
Chat was
Caps
like, he's
doesn't
up
have
CS,
any
he's up
mana
CS. It
whatsoever.
doesn't
There's
matter.
not enough mana to do anything other than Valkyrie away and following.
Oh my
through
God,
and
it's like a
making sure you
solo
get
queue
that
game.
Last part of the explosive shot is so easy, and we see another game.
Guess who's back again? And
He's level 6, by the way.
He's here.
It's a curb stop! EU! You fluked your way into the semis! Congrats, bro! If FlyQuest wasn't trash, you wouldn't even be here. No, hey, EU, don't be mad. You overperformed. You shouldn't even be here. Be happy you made it this far, right? It is what it is.
With the amount of time that
It is what it
Tian
is.
spending down here, and G2 not prepared for it whatsoever. Yike has to go farming on the other side of the map, and this is just clinical. You are able to get so much damage down. You start everything with the ultimate
Shouldn't even be
from
here.
Tian, and what do? You don't have the summoner spells. You do not have the mobility to get out of that ultimate.
Also, this Yike guy's unironically I gapped every game. This game's more like he has no prio any lane, actually. All three of, but still, like all three of top lanes have perma push.
Lane and spend all of his time just babysitting the Sivir, hoping that Hansama eventually will be doing something in this game. As now Yike is going to try to make his presence felt here at level 6 at least, as he will steal away the blue buff. And as a team, G2 are maneuvering up to the top side with these Void Grubs available.
But it's still a very dangerous position to be in because Tion is so strong. As soon as the ultimate is back up, you're going to have to give a lot of ground right back on over to top esports. And this is part of why we're seeing Yike just going as quickly as possible. But top esports not going to be contesting this one. They know that there is more blood to be had
2 kills. What does that happen?
Tion moving down can go for the dragon, but can also just go for Hansama. And as soon as you see Hansama back away, well, the answer becomes very easy. Just pick up his dragon. Make sure you get a trade on the map. And like you said, this
Dragon's more.
Who on
G2's team hits hurts this game?
Extra adaptive force that you get.
Yeah, it's going to be great for them.
Nobody? Are they Corky? Nah, Sivir? Nah.
Void Grubs. She is one of those champs that really does love them, but at the end of the day, you know, maybe you can pick up a couple later on. It's not going to be your main win
They're
condition.
both pretty short range.
As Cream has done a very good job
I guess
of just
it's worth
fed.
taking it away from Chris.
And sometimes that extra money and extra items will get the job done instead. So they get that Infernal Drake. They have dominance in mid, they have dominance in bot, and so far the top lane hasn't really mattered all too much. So top esports definitely very much in control of this early game.
Yeah, in general, my policy oftentimes with top lane is you check in at 14 minutes, you do
your bot's down 40
check-ins, like, oh, how many plates went down? Okay, cool. Are you guys both playing tanks? Yep, cool. We'll talk about you guys when we see you in team fights. Top esports and G2 are absolutely making this game entirely about the bottom side of the map, and we have seen that Jackie Love has been a Israel savant, I would say, this tournament. You know, everyone has those moments where like, maybe you should have arcane shifted forward. Jackie Love has way more times where he does the arcane shift forward and just finds multiple kills. I'm really looking forward to seeing when this competition actually starts popping off, because he has been getting close to the Trinity Force.
Yeah, I mean, this is already the domination.
Can't even cancel recall correctly.
Really hit any item spikes, right? So
bummer.
It's a good call to
bummer being so
see
inferior.
Just how fast they're going to be able to hit those spikes. As TP just to deny a push in mid. Cream feeling very good about just picking up his Kraken Slayer here at 11 minutes into the game. And Mako now out on the map, going to be clearing out some of this vision.
Gimme.
Preparing for the next Drake, which, by the way, is a Chemtech Drake. So the soul should be pretty nice for regardless of what we get here.
Yeah, we had a lot of Infernal Souls.
Exactly what she was doing. Oh, her camp's got a little fucked up
this time around. I'm really curious to see how top esports are going to be playing around the upcoming grubs, because in 2 minutes we are going to be getting another spawn of those, and there's a lot of pressure.
Oh, Sivir has static shifts. She's just perma-clearing, actually.
Would have loved to have that, but ultimately, like you said, it's not the win condition in this game. This game is so much more about just getting the gold into the right targets. And I kind of want to go back to a discussion that we were having yesterday when top esports did take down Gen G. Are top esports the favorite in this tournament from this position? Is it T1? Is it top esports? And I feel as though seeing how powerfully and how resoundingly top esports actually took down Gen G yesterday, and based on
Israel doesn't have item,
they should be way better than T1, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if they do eventually take down T1, but they got to get through G2 first. And so far, it is looking pretty strong on this first game.
Yep, run away, boy.
Wanting
the last
to
boy.
Caps,
run.
Who will respect it from now. We saw him try to.
Bro, I've seen Caps play like 5 games this entire year. How do I know that he's a Tristana one trick and now nobody else
does?
He
have his flashback at least, and he has been able to stabilize the mid lane. Not falling too far behind in CS, but still going to be kicking himself for that early death. As after all these shenanigans down on the bottom side of the map, we've essentially just kind of
don't they have like scouts and shit
from here? You know, the Drake did go the way
coaches
of top esports. We saw the Grubs go over to G2, and now we're waiting for the next piece of action as Tana's going to spot Mickey X deep in his own jungle.
No. Hit.
What was that? The blast cone gonna send him in the air.
The owners predicted.
Can jump over the pit, but definitely got a bit awkward there for a moment.
Yeah. I have to say that might be the one interaction in League of Legends that I just
Scouts
cannot
check
stand.
G, that's
times
it?
where you
Nah.
just like go straight up and down with the blast cone. But either way, top esports are still creating pressure across the map. And
Wrong
with the
caps.
grub spawning
Wanna
in a
leave
couple
that turret,
seconds
bud?
And the dragon spawning in about a minute, top esports once again trying to reprise their role in the bottom lane with all 3 members, including the jungle, going down towards the bottom side. And because Tian is so strong at this point, you can just do so much
Prepping for this
damage.
dragon
And
so
Hans honestly
early.
so careful, even just staying around these walls, because you never know when a seed and a plant is
Zyra's
going to
annoying.
grow out of the garden.
Yeah, and you see Vanessa spell shield, just the arcane shift.
You guys pissing me
damage,
off.
Just to try to survive, just to try to stay as healthy as possible. As now Yike is going to make his presence felt, but look at the mid lane. Caps yet to back. He doesn't have TP, and the mid lane turret is just naturally going down in a 1v1.
That's just
Cream
all
is
1v1. He's down
again, I said
3
it during the
plates
play-by-play,
in a
but why'd
1v1.
you give this guy Tristana?
3
He
plates,
just
a
beat
solo
Gen
kill?
G 2-0 with this pick, and now he is just doing an insane amount of damage in mid.
It is so crazy seeing what Cream can actually do with his Caps. You know, not a slouch on this Corki whatsoever, but the 1v1 solo kill going to go to Cream really changes the dynamic of the matchup quite a bit. And with another dragon spawning in 15 seconds, top esports pushing out this mid lane, taking control, can even do a chunk of damage to the turret if they
Zyra's
want
just, like,
to. Instead, they are going to be okay.
All right, trying to go in on Tien here. He's going to drop down the ultimate as the Xin. You know, once it does get on top of you, you do see the power that it has, so that's going to force Tien to back away. And actually takes a ton of damage. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we haven't seen much of this, but in the 1v1, 369 looking for it as he does
wanted
go
to flash so bad.
As the Glacial Prison does come out.
Smart though, he
not
takes the
able
flash
to
trade,
get the kill.
or the
Broken
flash
Blade
advantage.
does have TP, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal up there.
In the mid lane, though, it doesn't look like we're quite done with the action.
Ooh, we juked into that.
Hit him, and now the rocket hits him as well as a couple of ranged minions. That's going to kill Cream, as maybe a little bit overconfident in that trade.
We saw earlier that both Tian and Cream used their ultimates at the same time to try and get Yike out of the fight, and losing the buzzer shot there ends up really biting Cream. The flash has to be expended, and now G2, despite the fact that the bottom side of the map has been going so rough, are actually going to be...
What do you mean you were saying it was a 1v3? He got literally bailed out, and he fucking Prime, Cream, or the fuck his name, he misplayed it.
To recover some of the gold that
1v3, what are you yapping about?
Game, and getting that kill onto Cream really changes some of the dynamics that you tend to see, because now with no flash, you can't be quite as aggressive in the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dragons, do they get...
Just getting to work here on this
Grub's just
Drake. We see that
spawned.
Yike is in the top jungle, so there should be a couple of Drakes already going the way of top esports. Not a big surprise with the way that the early game has gone, as it will be
Top turret falls. Top turret's about to fall. I mean, mid's about to fall.
And if you give that to an Ezreal alone,
denying CS.
but also a Tristana, even the
I like it.
loves this, so definitely
solo
going to be
gold.
a big soul to contend for both of these teams.
Yeah. There's also my favorite part of the game where, you know, Mom decides where the Tristana goes. Like, you know, that top lane turret is still alive. Mom said it's my turn to go towards the top lane. I would not be surprised to see Kareem head up there soon.
It's going to force the TP out already as 369's like, yeah, I don't really care about that. He's just looking to take down
flash.
Caps. As nice flash from Caps, though, and 369 might be punished here, as that's a lot of damage. Yes, the Q3 hits Caps.
The bot lane.
And, you know, yeah, as you mentioned, the TP is forced, but that means
True
that
way, that's
Cream
finally
gets
a bot
free
turret.
And this inner turret is worth so much more gold than the outer turret, and Cream on this Tristana, even with no Void Grubs, will get so much in the mid lane as well. Not going to be finding any actual fighting there, but they are going to be getting multiple structures, and even if you get this one, it's not going on to the same kind of valuable person that Cream is.
They share the gold.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw something like this happen actually in the TLT1 game. Game number 3, I believe, where TL were able to get a very nice macro lead here in the mid game with a very similar play. Like what we saw.
Oh my god, deep TP from Cassante.
Yeah, the teleport is going to come out. And
bro, my Shelly doesn't last that long. What the?
More off of this as, yeah, he just tries to crescent guard his way
Yeah,
out
flash
of
away,
this one, but
bitch.
the Yike will be taken
Bye-bye.
up as well.
Bye-bye.
As the Rift Herald is still pushing.
Net positive gold play, by the way. Peep the gold,
Not
3,000.
only do they get the outer mid and the inner bot, but they also get a kill in top lane.
And they're also in a perfect position on the map now to try and play for the topside turret. But we'll take another look at this last play. This is 369 getting very
I think it was a
aggressive
rubber he could
and not
outplay.
respecting the
He has
ability of
flash.
G2 to go for a teleport. I was very surprised to actually see the all-out go into the lane instead of trying to get it over the wall. Because if you had a little bit more time with no broken blade, maybe you end up picking up instead. It's a very easy kill.
Maybe not.
However, G2 get baited later.
Oh, 369, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah, 369 in a lot of trouble here as once again he's getting very over aggressive. He's gonna pull the Braum over though, and maybe he gets out from here. The flash as well, as Mickey X does not want to allow this one. And yeah, I think 369 will eventually go down, right? Cassante is crazy sometimes.
Dude, that Cap's getting like literally, by the way, every single last hit. Every last hit, like he's doing anything, by the way. This shit's so cringe.
On both sides, and yes, 369 will go down, but it's still a almost 4,000 gold lead here for Top Esports.
After getting solo killed, by the way.
In control of the map at the moment.
And it's also important to remember that we got to see how long it took them to take down 369 in a 4v1. Remember, he doesn't even have the Randuin's done yet, and there is not that first damage profile coming out from G2 whatsoever. So this Cassante is going to get harder and harder to take down. Even though he's currently rolling a 3, just by the nature of his champion in this draft, we're going to get at least a 6 on the 369 scale.
Yeah, I mean,
when is still playing? When is still playing? Yeah, don't worry, G2's not playing after today either, bro.
I built the right items, so
what do you do?
Feels very good, absolutely. And we'll take a look at the replay once again, just on the top side. 369 caught a bit deep in the top lane.
Yeah. We get to see the TFT
It's not as
set
old, be like
really
a AGL free card, but
it takes him forever to move. Honestly, impressive how far he was able to move on this map at all. But G2 just make sure there's no
live forever, but like nobody on his team's even
not in a position to actually go for a play anywhere else. Looks like they tried to make something happen onto Yike, but very difficult to do that in the mid lane, knowing how close the rest of G2 are. But we have about a minute left until the next dragon comes up, and we have to identify that Top Esports are so hard to dislodge once they've actually set up in an area.
Yeah, it is kind of insane what you can
Cyrus
get
massive. They have
just
triple Merc
Zyra,
treads.
But also you've got this really thick front line with the Leona and the Cassante that's
quadra
really difficult to break through, and they can maneuver themselves very well. They can
just straight on this for the tier.
Oh,
nice macro.
We talked about this.
NA macro.
NA
NA has good macro. We've seen team with NA macro.
Another inner turret. It's 2 kills, but this time it's divided between 369 and Cream. Still 2 great players to give it towards, and so much pressure coming out in the middle of the map at the same time. We're going to be seeing another turret take a lot of damage. 369 threatens to die.
Caps has no TP.
So the
He's
turrets are just falling for free here. I mean, 369
Caps, all that last hit gold. What you doing, brother? What you doing in the bot lane, bro? Killing bot lane, minus another tier 2. They have no turrets, outer turrets left. They're all gone.
20 minutes into the game is very
the dragon spawns in 20.
That's,
third dragon.
Relatively close. So
that is some solid EU macro.
Identified, hey, we have this.
I'll tell you what.
Let's use it to just get more money as soon as we possibly can.
And they're also going to be in perfect position. Cream doesn't even need to back. They are ready to go for this.
I mean, it's all good now because you can pull up the score sheet and be like, but guys, I was 3-1.
Souls in the game, just the AoE slow, the only stacking slow.
Third dragon.
Actually still going to come through, and Top Esports going to grab another one.
Bye-bye.
I mean, G2 are here, they want to fight, but they're late to the party. They get in, and everybody's already left. And so they're going to leave themselves. So not much of a fight there on the Drake. It is just going to go the way of Top Esports once again. We see those fans out there in the crowd as well, showing their signs.
There's one G2 border.
Sign there. I saw that one as well.
One guy had a G2
maybe
board.
G2 can come back in this game, but at the moment, Top Esports not letting go of their vice grip on this one.
And it's going to be very tough. This composition coming out from Top Esports does the Baron very, very quickly. You have the double marksman. One of them is Tristana. You also have the Zyra. So not only are you doing it quickly, you're also doing it very healthy because the plants are
clear
taking
3
all
wards
the
from
Baron
that
shots.
grab take. That's huge.
Very difficult for G2 to try and find anything. We were looking at a composition that
Sivir
had
completed
a decent amount of
IE.
crowd control, and it still does.
Corgi's 2 items, Spike. Sivir's 2 items. Ez 2 items.
Entrances back into the game, and now
Sante 2 items.
getting ready to start.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Zyra like one-shots Baron.
Check things out. The wind becomes
they have to worry about it.
G2 are completely blind as to if they're actually hitting.
Yeah.
Don't flip it.
I remember we were watching TL versus T1. We were begging Team Liquid to start the Baron. Top Esports are like, yeah, we'll start it here at 22 minutes if we have to. They're not actually going to, but they are setting up just the immense vision control you were mentioning, Joshi, on this objective. And as it starts, you know, G2, they have to push in, they have to try to get vision themselves, and that leads to Mickey X taking a big chunk of damage and some extra priority going over the way.
Good. Rob shield down. Looks good.
Gonna hop forward as the wall goes up. The Solar Flare
Sin's out of the fight. This looks good.
Yike is just so low at the same time that top Esports.
How do they not just one-shot Baron here, by the way?
Yeah, Yike taking all that damage should be all the impetus that
They have
top
no
Esports
ults.
needs to actually go for this Baron. Yike.
Silver Braum ult down. I think it's just gone.
The Hextech portals. Look at how quickly this goes down. G2.
Baron doesn't want to commit ult to it. I think it's just gone.
They don't have another option.
Now shield, it's gone.
Have to try to fight for this one, but
oh!
369 in the back line. He's gonna set it up, and we have the Baron.
Okay, well he entered, but it looked cool.
369 just gonna disappear somehow.
Wait, this kind of looks not good. Did he leave?
He was just way too deep. As now top Esports, they want to get this objective and back away. 10 also gonna flash out of this one, and it gets a bit messy. Ike's looking for a bit more. As when comes lightning, he is going to get in onto the Zyra, and he will be shut down. But still,
they got Baron for 2.
And 3 members left remaining here for top Esports.
It's a lot of gold that G2.
I don't think you should have ulted over the wall. I think you had a disgusting knockup or disgusting command stun, but
as much as top Esports will get with this Baron. We do get to see 369 jumping over, just evaporates in this last fight with the amount of damage that Caps is currently putting out. But this fight was so close to going so differently. Mickey X not going down in that last fight means that Cream has to play much more defensively in every single one of these fights.
They get mid-turn after or not?
And then you are able to chase Xian down. Top Esports walk away with 3 Baron buffs, but they have less of a gold advantage after picking up the Baron than they did before.
Nice.
But they still have 2 minutes left of that, and that'll perfectly give them the opportunity to go for the Hextech Soul at the end of it.
Yeah, the timing of everything is, you know, very clean from the side of top Esports. It does feel like they're playing this game like it's chess. You know, they're not taking their lead and trying to throw it in their opponent's faces.
Yeah, like Team Liquid.
Let's try to really play this map. Let's try to really play smart around all of these objectives, and they've done a great job with that. If you look at the scoreline, G2 have more kills, but it's still top Esports that are in the lead. In terms of turrets, in terms of map control, in terms of objectives taken, gold, obviously, dragons, and they're just trying to utilize that as well. We're going to see the Silver ultimate coming through as the Q is going to miss for Mickey X, also a kind of a half-arted ult to be thrown in. And, well, not able to get much going there is G2, but they really want to get a fight here before this.
Play for this Triss top play. Oh my god, he whiffs everything. EU ult. EU macro, EU ult, EU macro, EU ult.
That is brutal.
Oh my god, this I mean, can he end the game at this point? That's the question. Can he end the game? He's right like slowed.
Still wailing away on the inhibitor. Caps will get there to try and do something, but I think Cream wins that one anyway.
Hit mid, hit mid.
It's just insane. How many turrets Cream has taken down by himself? As now we have the TP coming in. The rocket jump to try to get away.
Jesus, mid diff.
Is totally
There's a wipe. Zante has everything. Ez is coming slow.
And that is never a good sign for the enemy team as Cream is being isolated by G2. They finally take down that
might not catch him.
That is Tristana.
Ezreal, big!
Gonna be taking out this game as, oh god.
Oh my god, he late flash because he's European.
Just chasing him down. Not much.
So Souls in 20, it's free. Game over.
For Hansama to get out of this
1-0 top.
He's got a blast clone and a dream. Oh wow, that is just so troll, and he's going to get away for now.
Does he?
369 is still chasing him, but
oh my god, just die, bro.
is also going to expire. Top Esports having a bit of fun as they're taking down a lot of objectives.
Holy shit, that reaches.
In this one, as finally. No? Okay, never mind.
Wow.
Ezreal went bot lane.
Out of that. I mean, congrats to Hansama.
I thought Ezreal was going to go top
items to his name, but
to get that kill. Maybe they want Dragon.
Jackie Love was also taking the mid lane inhibitor turret, getting even more pressure there. And so top Esports will reward themselves after all is said and done with the Hextech Soul. Yike on the right side of the map, but nowhere near close enough, and that is going to be an overwhelming advantage. 8,000 gold and the Hextech Soul already in the possession here for top Esports at 27 minutes.
I'm thinking about what's for
game.
lunch, bro. This game's over.
A very fast-paced game coming through, and
I mean,
really just
EU's probably thinking about what's for lunch too on the airline
lane.
service.
You have to look at the fact it's a 2,500 gold lead for Cream, but he only has a single kill.
Yo, guys, what's the menu for Delta?
Doesn't care.
Anybody know?
Just hitting turrets, getting Baron buffs. Just,
do we want the egg omelet or the fruit basket?
And he is going to enjoy a very big lead because
on
of
the flight home.
And now with the Hextech Soul, you would imagine
basket,
that top
please.
Esports, even without the Baron, can begin to threaten more of the space if they would like to. I don't even think they need to play this one slowly. And to be honest, top Esports haven't shown that they like playing the game slowly at all. So here they come, barreling down the bottom lane.
The good news, at least for G2, is they do have a lot of wave clears.
It is just they have next game to lose.
Stall things out rather effectively as long as Top Esports does not have the Baron, and we are seeing a little bit of that every time Hansama steps up to the wave. Does take a chunk out of Jackie Love, and this wave,
All right, they're going to try to get down on a Mako, and they do a great job of that.
We
Nicely done by G2. Meanwhile, Cream is just in mid, and he's going to get another free objective here. Another free building as down goes Yike. Almost just frustrated, throwing himself into Top Esports as he does get kidnapped by the Cassante, and that is it's going to be pretty huge by the end of this one.
I'm not going to say anything, but it's like G2's mid laner's down 2 levels.
Esports that goes down, and
Logging
Top
real last hit.
Esports will not
Oh,
stop
dead again.
there. They have this massive Ezreal who is just tunking people down as finally Cream decides, okay, I'm going to try to kill some enemy champions. Might as well.
Let's go.
As he is going to Guma stomp on everyone.
Let's go. Like I said, he can only play the Trish side of that matchup.
Over very heavily
Nice, let's go, boys. Okay, one more.
As they take down the Nexus.
One more, wrap it up. Send them home. Send them home. Fuck it. They can join us at home. I don't give a shit. I'm a T1 fan anyway. Very nice, guys. Very nice.
Never let Hansama do anything. Really showcases why the lane swap meta is so powerful. You can avoid getting yourselves in these very dangerous situations.
Just really insane understanding showcased here by Top Esports to take down game number 1 in the semifinals of EWC. We're going to take a break and come back with game number 2.
1 second. That's an easy sweep. Partner co-streamer with the Esports World Championship. Don't you think you should show both teams a little more respect? Shut the up, Dom. No. Shut the up. No, I'm completely biased. I don't give a shit. You do. Oh, just biased, but mad for some reason?
As a legal representative for Nelson, we are requesting a change in cat food. The stuff you get is insufficient. Do better. -3.
What? This is the problem with humanity. Look at this chat. It's incredible. Full of baboon-minded idiots. Look at this. This is the problem with humanity. Look at this chat. It's so incredible. Full of baboon-minded idiots. Scroll up in his logs. Let's go EU! In that airport! E2 Gigatad! That's unbearable. It's unbearable.
لحظات البداية عاشت معنا. كنا نحسبها وقت للتسلية بس. نحسبها بس ذكريات.
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا.
I mean, like I said, to be fair, they couldn't have gotten excited. They struggled against Fly.
خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات.
You take my headset off for a second.
ما حد يشوفه.
Head needs aired out.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا. عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب بس ما يصعب عليك. بارت معك وين ما تروح.
Genuine question. Why is Zeri
In a loser's bracket? I kind of like this, actually.
Fine, but she was not tough pro play. But Sandy is still able to do bigger picks all the time.
Cassante did get nerfed 100 times. Zeri is picked in solo queue and in pro play right now. Zeri's not bad. Statistically speaking, Cassante's bad in solo queue, but still disgusting in pro play. Oh, true. And Zeri's been playing in AD and top. I've been bad in solo queue. I think he's actually not bad higher, to be honest. There's so much range top in solo queue. Would you nerf Warmogs out of curiosity because how it's really strong now? I don't know if I would nerf Warmogs. I mean, the item was literally never seen, never picked in years.
Calm, cool, and collected by Top Esports. I think it was Joshi that said this was one of the most clinical games of League of Legends we've seen here at the Esports World Cup presenting League of Legends, and I have to agree, as it was very controlled, very measured, and they took care of business here against the Kings of Europe. 1-0 Top Esports and 1 win away from facing T1 in the finals. Welcome back to the area.
T1
alongside Ox and Atlas and Top Esports, you know, really good stuff here, Ox.
And I love seeing this style of play from Top Esports because back in like early 2022 in spring, this team was the sort of team who'd get ahead early, be really aggressive, wouldn't know what to do with it, and then end up losing out. So seeing this controlled pace that they can now set to games, just fantastic to see.
And completely unflappable.
There's been a problem every single game as a team lost with Tristan.
G2 tried their very best to do as many crazy things around the map, and Top Esports said, all right, well, we'll take
Liquid did.
We'll take turrets, we'll do everything, and that was off the back of picking Tristana first.
And maybe one of us here.
Oh, if you don't have first pick, you ban Trist.
I congratulated G2 for identifying that Tristana was really good.
Yeah, and we saw G2 go with like the Sejuani flex to top and the Xin Zhao. This works if you play super aggressive around top lane and get like a momentum lead, but the problem is you're on a timer against this Top Esports composition. You're outranged pretty hard. It's difficult with your comp to play against the likes of the Zyra, and the Zyra sets such a fast pace in the jungle. If you're not just getting kills on kills,
APA still performed on the Trist. Maybe the champ just never
Braum is really good into a lot of things, not Zyra.
Yeah.
Zyra kind of puts stuff underneath him, and then he just has a horrible time.
Maybe that champ just like
the fact that
auto wins, and the
Ken was
Corki's just like something trying to stop it from winning.
Over again, he puts up the door, and then he wonders why it doesn't really help.
And y'all at home, that's what you call a perfect segue. Let's take a look at the first highlight here as TN focuses the bottom side of the map and really suffocating.
This is disgusting jungle.
And I feel like if you were playing a different jungler, then maybe going for these repeated ganks and not always getting kills might seem like a waste of time. But that's the power of the Zyra. You're so fast at jungling, you can never waste
every
time.
game but that last one?
So
oh, really?
Extra time to just harass the enemy bot lane. You can see in the meantime, Yike's still trying to do a jungle camp. He does come in to try and stop the dive, so it's a 1-for-1, but, you know, he has to stop doing the Grom, whereas Tien, he's got plenty of time just to keep going bot again and again and again and ensure that his bot lane gets a lead in the 2v2.
Yeah, he pitched a tent, basically, and even though, like you say, the first one goes even, the next one doesn't go so even, the one after that is catastrophic for G2, and so they put this bottom lane so incredibly far behind. The thing is, I don't even think this is necessarily the crux of the TES plan in this game.
I mean,
there's a certain gentleman that's just chilling out the entire time in the mid lane.
I mean, I guess that's why I've been seeing Zyra banned so much.
He gets spare time alone. This is what we were talking about Braum not necessarily being all that valuable with the Strangle Squad.
That is facts.
Blocking things out.
And the thing is, with the Xin Zhao Sejuani, you want to be playing towards top side, but you're putting out Fire's bot lane, so you don't get the opportunity.
Yeah, and even then, you weren't putting it out well enough to make sure that they could get ahead. It was just to make sure they didn't fall too far behind. However, the beacon of hope was the man in the mid lane for G2. Caps on the Corki, able to
just
find
dodged into it.
Yeah, we saw G2 able to pick up a few kills in the mid game and start to gain a little bit of pressure in return. They managed to catch out 369 a few times, but it felt like despite these, the objective lead and the farm lead was still in favor of Top Esports. So, you know, they were making
he got Zyra full cleared in like 255, sat in bot bush for 25 seconds just pestering enemy bot, and it also stopped Xin from starting his Gromp.
Top Esports were getting from these picks that are going over to G2 is just so much higher than the kill gold that is going into the pockets of G2. So we actually saw that the kill score at the top of the screen was pretty close, but the gold, it absolutely wasn't. The map state it absolutely wasn't, because every spare second that was given to Top Esports was spent taking turrets.
Yeah, and you can even see it on the mini-map. You know, you have all these members collapsing on 369, and Top Esports are just so deep, stealing away camps, taking as much gold as they can.
So G2 bot
generally, that
did
is
not
what we
get
see
a chance
at
to
international play from the
Caps
top
got a
teams.
chance to
They're
play, got
able
solo
to
killed,
garner
and then
other
Top was
leads
just losing.
elsewhere. And then it
CS
leads
was
to our
even, but
final
Top
fight
was
here
losing.
on the top side of the map, where that we have highlights for, where again G2 just get corralled, and it's so tough for them to fight in this position.
Yeah, it's a beautiful flank from 369, and G2 are definitely desperate at this point. They're trying to get on Cream, and in the end, they do actually take him out, but it's at the cost of their positioning. They're now locked away from the base. This true shot barrage that comes in, it was already doomed, but this seals the deal.
Yeah, and I feel like the Cream global taunt was absolutely phenomenal this game. I think that Caps had one in their previous series, and Cream had it this time around. This Tristana was managing to stave off so many of these ganks, but when he does go down, it's not without a huge cost to G2.
Tristana just broken, I
take
guess.
the Sejuani, which we said was an important one, but the Tristana is going to be a huge focus here in the rest of the series. Now, of course, Esports World Cup is for League of Legends is part of the Esports World Club Championship, and we have our first champions here of the inaugural Esports World Cup. It is Team Falcons for Warzone, getting the opportunity to put their outer frame in the history books, into the totem for 2024. Congratulations, Team Falcons, over for Warzone for doing it, as we over here at League of Legends looking to do the same thing and take a step closer here. Analyst,
I think his name is Shifty.
Yeah, 3 teams still in the running to put their frame up there as well, right next to the Falcons. We'll see who it's going to be after the
Where's my
we have.
Where are my
Looking
scenes
forward
I
to seeing
filmed, by
whether
the way?
G2 can give us
Guys,
actual series
don't,
here
they
and
better
bounce
be
back, maybe
tomorrow.
themselves a Tristana.
All right, final thoughts here as we go to break.
Yeah, I think banning the Tristana, definitely a good move, but also if you're playing into something like the Zyra, you really need to commit to your game plan. I feel like they had this strategy and it kind of got sort of washed away by the bot lane presence, but if you're going to commit to top side, make it work.
Again, G2, we've seen them multiple times before play to their opponent's level. And yes, yesterday to FlyQuest, they started slow and ramped on up. Here, Top Esports, a very dominant win. Will G2 be able to bounce back here against Top Esports, or will it be the LPL
I think that, dude, it's not like
the
they played in the final, but they might play it before the final. So tomorrow, I think I gotta start
League of Legends, presenting League of Legends finals. We'll
co-streaming it
find out after the
earlier,
short break.
so I see it. Bro, I can't miss it.
Hello, everybody. Kitty and Ginny here. We're checking
Oh, wait,
in
they
from
have
the
both
SBC
interviewers.
Battle Royale Arena here at the Esports World Cup, where Falcons have just claimed the first victory of the entire tournament.
In the Call of Duty Warzone tournament, congratulations to Team Falcon. The fans are absolutely electric, and they are screaming their lungs out.
And the most important thing is they will now be able to insert their key in the totem of the Esports World Cup, solidifying themselves in all of history, not only as the first Warzone winners, but also the first ever winners of any title of the Esports World Cup.
Wow. Bit of a crude cut. They already won, apparently. Apparently Call of Duty was going on the same time League was. Try any food when you were down there? I tried. So they have an all-you-can-eat buffet at the hotel for like anybody in the event, and they had like some I don't know what it is. Some beef and some like weird sauce, and I hate sauce, but I tried it. It wasn't good. I tried like cherry beef or something, and it was disgusting. They actually have a lot of NA foods. Like I said, bro, they had all NA restaurant. Like, bro, they had a Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like, wow. Fuck's NA food? No, NA restaurant. Like, Dunkin' Donuts everywhere. They love Dunkin' Donuts. There was Dunkin' Donuts everywhere. Like every mile, a Dunkin' Donuts. You were here in Saudi? I went there for like a day, actually a day. I don't think Dunkin' Donuts are good. No, I like Krispy Kreme. Dunkin' Donuts, filled donuts are good, like the jelly and the. The cream. No, God. Stop, bro.
At the Qiddiya Arena. We got a lot of top esports fans here, and all these.
They don't know how to cheer, bro. Stop, please.
I don't even know what's going on some of these, but the passion shows from everybody here cheering on top as they took.
Do not make them chant.
Fans, how are we feeling? It's just a sea of them up there. It's ridiculous. Now, G2 fans, I know you've been making noise, but I'm gonna need to hear some from you.
Where are they?
Let's get a chant for G2.
Is that a boo?
I'm just gonna say, I think there might be a few more top esports fans in the audience. What do we think? Top esports?
Yeah.
All right. That's it from us here at the Qiddiya Arena. Let's see what happens in game number 2. We're gonna throw it back over to the casters.
Thank you, Kangas, for that, as we are getting ready for game number 2 between Top Esports and G2.
He's not doing a bad. Like,
We'll see
they
who's
just,
going to take it down. Will G2
it's not a rowdy audience.
Will we see Top Esports easily close this one out in the 2-0? Josie, what do you think?
Honestly, with how dominant that win looked from Top Esports, I'm going to have to say Top Esports, the heart and the brains that we from the studio are really starting to shine through at this point. However, we also saw Team Liquid have a very dominant win over T1 in their first game of the series. And now,
play it, but don't do anything
this is
stupid.
G2, they're
Get
going
it
to
in
have
Team
their first
Liquid.
game on the
Thanks,
blue
Kova.
side
All right.
in this series, and we'll have to
We'll
see
be banning
what the adaptations
on blue
are.
side.
So
Okay, the
important
Zyra,
to play
he was like that.
You know, I think the best way to play around it is to just
Fuck the Zyra.
ban it away, or you got to first pick it here on the side of G2, and we'll see if Top Esports gives credit to that and bans it away themselves. It is going to be
Don't
the
let him
Lucian
first pick
ban
Triss,
from
though.
them. See the Zyra first ban, as they said, well, that's just too fast at clearing the jungle, and we could not keep up with it. That's not the type of game that we want to play. Say
Yeah, that was
G2.
dumb. That Zyra
We'll
gameplay was
see
dumb.
If,
to be fair.
You know, they'll have a nice strategy coming into the second game after what was a very dominant first game from Top.
It's really interesting to see the difference in how effectively this Zyra has been.
Oh wow,
played
they
over
banned the
past couple of
Triss.
games, right? We have seen that it has.
Wait, they're trying to force the
absolutely
Corki ban
dominant
because
performances, and
Caps
we've
wants to
also
play
seen that it was completely
Corki.
ineffective, but Top
And not against
Esports
Twist, though.
absolutely love
You're
playing
cringe.
around
Just
his
ban
style
Corki.
of game where they just
You can't play
remove
anything else.
entire lanes from the game. With this Tristana ban already by G2, it really looks like it's setting up their.
Wait, they had
mid
first
laners
pick,
to
though.
play
Wait,
the
actually.
Corki uncontested.
Yeah, seems
Yeah,
like
there's the Corki ban.
Top Esports
That was
are going to say
cringe,
that, or
G2.
see that
That was
rather, and
cringe.
say,
No.
we are not going to allow you to play the Corki. So no Tristana, no Corki, but this
LeBlanc,
does
bro,
leave
I'm not
Rumble
feeling. You guys say
available,
LeBlanc's
and
good.
to
I
be
want to
honest,
see this.
Rumble,
I don't.
feel
I'm
like
not
is
seeing it.
number 1 on the chopping block when it does come down to picks in this meta, right?
Get the
And generally
Rumble.
it does get banned away pretty early on the red side, but they're just going to give it over to the side of G2, and G2 will not escape that opportunity to take it, and they will immediately first pick it.
There's not a lot of lanes that can really go toe-to-toe with Rumble. One of the things that you oftentimes look
He's
to do
broken.
is you just lane swap into it, but it does look as though 369 might be going towards one of those classic picks.
I think
that you can
Kenneth's
play into
broken.
Rumble.
I think
A lot of
Kenneth
damage
is-
damage up in the top
Ah,
lane.
ooh,
Instead, going towards the
ooh.
Yone right away. Now, this is really interesting. This has been one of the common picks that has
Didn't
been
flex
used as a
it.
counter pick to Corki's quite a bit, but there's obviously no Corki coming out in this game. It's going to be a blind.
Ooh!
Blind
The Yone Cannon! Spicing it up a bit. Let's go.
Pretty early, I thought maybe we were going to see the Sejuani just to try to get a really strong mid-jungle duo on the side of top esports, but that is not the case. Is now a Malphite being hovered, saying, okay, we could do this. We could swap all around some of these lanes. But
okay, Yikes Vi was
gonna be
Yikes.
the Vi. Talia also
Against
available.
FlyQuest.
Could be a look. We saw Talia Vi working out for T1 in Game 3 of the first series.
Owner played a much better Vi.
It is worth noting that Yike does hover all kinds of crazy things. As soon as I saw the Malphite, I was like, oh, that's not Anivia, though. So we got to see where he goes from that. But with this Vi already picked up, you have a very potent combo with what we've already seen, and we are going to be getting a LeBlanc.
I want to see this LeBlanc or why it's so strong.
We have seen a couple of bans towards this champion so far in the tournament, but no actual picks for it during the Esports World Cup. There's going to be Caps looking for an opportunity to shut down Cream on the Yone, but this is a very volatile mid lane. Even if LeBlanc does have a bit of an advantage in the laning phase, if anything goes wrong at all, the Yone can absolutely
Does Makai won a single match, by the way?
Definitely can, but that LeBlanc and the Vi together are such a deadly duo. The two of them together can find targets from miles away and isolate them and take them down. We'll see if they can get some success with that, as the Maokai is the choice here for top esports in the jungle, as they will avoid the Sejuani
I hate that shit.
and just go for this pick instead. Definitely can feel pretty good into what is a very aggressive composition so far from G2.
And it's not common either that we have so much of the top side picked at this point and none of the bottom lane, right? Now we actually have to see what is going to happen with so many powerful picks in the bottom side of the map already removed. The Ashe next on the chopping block, the Lucian already gone as well. I'm really expecting to see picks like the Varus start to rise in priority in these games.
Leona up, Nautilus up.
We're not expecting
Ezreal ban.
It's already gone. The Ashe is gone, and Varus really is kind of that
Series
next
up.
tier of AD carry that I expect to see in these games.
Yeah, would not be
Oh,
too
both play
surprised
Draven. I keep
to
forgetting
see
that both
coming
play
up next.
Draven.
For top esports, they're thinking about what, you know, AD
You usually
carry
don't
they
get
wanna
situations
get
where
to,
both teams play
essentially.
Draven.
It's a little bit of a game of chicken because they could ban a top one, and then, you know, maybe...
Rom,
hope
that means that they
G2
want the
don't ban
Draven, so I
other
think they gotta
ones
ban
so
Draven
can
here.
get a top AD carry, but instead it is just going to be the Braum that does get banned away, which has been...
I think with the
rising
Braum ban, they banned
priority
Draven.
over the course of Esports World Cup.
It's just asking for a Leona ban to follow it, though, right? If you do have this as the red
Oh,
side,
true,
you
'cause
could
a good
just grab the
Leona.
and the Braum has been the classic counter pick. And now G2 has to decide, if we give them Leona, what are we going to get instead? Is it going to be an Alistar ban? Really just daring Mako to play the Leona, which I see no reason not to.
play it.
They're saying, okay, you want an even better spot to pick Leona? We'll ban away Alice.
They have a counter for Leona because you can't go Nautilus.
Yeah.
If they lock in Leona here, they're going to go
Leona
Draven.
here, I do not know
Not the
what the choice
easiest,
would
but
be,
who else
to be
would they-
honest, and they will choose it here.
I mean,
So,
one team has to
G2
pick Draven
are
here.
prepared because they had to have known that this would be selected, and they have to have
Oh,
something
true.
very
Remember
nice
Gungar?
prepared to
Alistar
deal
does
with
counter
it.
Rel.
You don't do this without having some kind of plan for the Leona, and it actually surprised me a little bit that G2 are
They
taking
need
as
heavy
long
AD.
as they are
Varus.
to go for the champions that they will be locking in. The Varus does end up being
Okay, you
answer,
can't go
and the
Draven.
Rel,
That sounds not fun.
Not
Yeah.
nearly as common of an answer. It has been very strong in the past, and there are some good tools to combo this with the Chain of Corruption as well as the Equalizer.
That's a
where you
lot of
can
CC.
blow up
That's annoying,
large
level 6.
swaths of the board, but it feels as though you just made your game needlessly a little bit harder because even with all these tools, the Maokai
unfortunately,
and the
that
Kenny
bot
are
lane
gonna create
lock-in
so much
completely said
zone
fuck
control
Draven.
that Caps and Broken Blade are going to struggle to get in.
That's really the biggest issue, I think, for G2 is those two champs you mentioned. The Kennen disengage ult, fantastic. The Nature's Grasp, fantastic as
They
well.
have so
And
much
really break
CC.
up your ability to find targets
So
and
much
actually
CC
get
on top.
engages
Oh my
going
god.
in a
It's like
5v5
all
team
easy
fight. Yes, they
CC.
still have
Maokai,
great
easy
potential
CC.
on the top
Kennen,
side of the
easy
map to
CC.
G2,
Leona, easy CC.
especially if they lose map control and you're dealing with having to engage into both of those champs, you're not going to have a good time. It's just not going to happen. And you see the reason for the Alistar ban, the Rel coming out. That is one of the biggest counters to Rel, the Alistar, but you did also give this free Leona over. And
wait,
for G2,
that's not
they
even
said,
counting
well,
Yone,
we're
true. Oh my
mostly
god.
worried about Ezreal Leona rather than just
Why do
Leona
I keep swapping my
itself.
scenes?
And they do let that one
Little
get
bro, you're not
selected.
playing.
So at the end of the day, who are you liking in terms of the drafts
Top.
here, Joshi?
Top.
I'm still liking top esports once again, although Caps really has some of the most outplay potential of any champion in this game. If this is a time for the Western GOAT to step up It has to be right now. This is their last
Where's
potential
this equals
chance
GG? It's not
to
GG,
move
it's just
on in
easy to
this
play.
series.
Like how
If they
easy it
drop
is to
this
play the
one,
composition.
they will
When the
have to
compositions are
watch their
easy to
team
play,
get
you can make
crushed,
mistakes.
And then we will see the LPL advance.
So there's
to play
more
up against
leeway.
T1.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, coming into today, I actually felt
That's how
like
I view it. I viewed solo queue that way as well.
Closer than the first one.
I'm giving
But
you my
T-Liquid
solo
made it
queue
really interesting
perspective
between
on
them
these games,
and T1.
not my
And you know
pro
what?
play
So far,
perspective.
G2 haven't been able to make it as interesting, in my opinion. So I really want to see them get something going here for game
Send them
number
home.
2 and make this a competitive
Not
series.
Diamond
Otherwise,
solo
Top
queue.
Esports are
Shut
going to
the
be
fuck
going
up.
on to the finals. But
Your D2 perspective,
still gonna
you're
play
all dipshit.
potentially
Shut up.
a game 3 in the series.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Putting a big look once again at Broken Blade as well, right? We're looking at Caps as one of these players who has a lot of tools to try and make outplays going into Top Esports. Use that mobility, use that burst of damage, and create zones of vision where you have total control. But Broken Blade also received the first pick Rumble in this game. He picked
Should
up
just camp
lightly.
Challenger
He's
like
now going to be
everybody
going
else.
into 369's Kennen, which is already a bit of a tough matchup, but it is definitely going to be on Broken Blade to showcase why they put as much faith as they have into
Prove them
this
wrong,
top lane
Shiro
who has been
P.GG.
so strong for G2 throughout this spring split.
No, I have.
Absolutely. That's going to be the biggest thing to look forward to. The first pick always kind of has that
A
extra
secret account right now that's
weight
top,
on their shoulders saying, hey, we're
50?
giving you the best pick in
1,000
you know,
LP.
everything that hasn't been banned, and we're expecting
You guys
you
don't
to
know the
do
name,
a
and
lot
it's super
with it.
secret, but yeah, I do. So
Guys,
they
it looks like
respect
we
my
do
opinion.
have a slight technical issue with one of the computers here trying to get this solved.
I was gonna
and
show
into
it,
the
but
game
I
as
don't wanna
soon
leak
as
it.
possible,
So just take my word for it.
apologies for that. We'll try to get into this one and have a fun back and forth game number 2, I hope. As you were mentioning, you know, the LeBlanc coming out here for Caps as well. I really do feel like the heavy commitment to the top side of the map here.
Brother,
from
when would you have the
G2's
time?
draft, the
I
Rumble,
didn't
the Vibe,
actually
the LeBlanc.
go
That
to
2v2, especially
Riyadh.
the
I
mid-jungle, feel
just
like
played
they
solo
should
queue
have
for
a
4
really
days.
nice angle there, especially in the early to mid game.
I also think it's kind of funny that we are getting the LeBlanc and the Yone. I saw a tweet earlier today where people were looking at some very high elo solo queue players who are like, Cork Strana, and then LeBlanc and Yone were about the only 2 champions after that you're seeing anyone play at the top of the solo queue ladder. And this is going to be a
They haven't shown the
example
clips
of
to you
seeing
exactly.
what happens if those 2 other champions were to disappear. It does look as though Han Sama seems to be the player who is having some issue in getting into the game, but it does create a much more volatile game than the ones that we've seen before. Corki
computer
and
crash?
Tristana just kind of neutralize each other in a lot of ways, and even though, yes, Korean was getting the better of the matchup last time around, normally both of them just farm very heavily as we get into game.
That was Han Sama?
Yeah, I was told it would be a quick issue, and you know what? We are just about done with it. As you can see, they have entered the game, and we should be heading off into game number 2 in just a moment. So thank you for your patience, but we shouldn't require too much of that from now on. As we are getting ready for game
fix
number
your hair,
2
bro.
of
Me
Top
too.
Esports up against G2 Esports. Will G2 fight back and bring us to game 3? Or
Bye-bye,
will Top
G2.
Esports prove
Now boarding.
one of the best teams here, as they have not yet dropped a game in the Esports World Cup.
And as
Now
we jump in,
boarding.
we can already hear
Flight
the
773.
shouts of the crowd very much in favor of Top
Germany.
Esports here, making sure that their team has the energy necessary to
Amsterdam.
power their way through this one. We load onto the Rift for what could be the last game of the semifinals. And I have to say, as we were talking about before, Valdez, it feels as though Top Esports is in pole position to try and take this one home. I really am looking forward to what they actually do with this Kennen as well. It was a very clearly prepared counter pick.
Amsterdam equals Germany? Yeah, but they don't say Germany. They would say Amsterdam,
because of
right?
how quickly they were willing to lock in both their solo laners as soon as the Rumble came through.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about how this the Kennen and the Maokai could definitely do a number in terms of dealing with the engage on the side of G2, but at least for G2, they have the LeBlanc, they have the Varus, who do
Amsterdam's
have
in
a
the
very
Netherlands?
nice amount of range, not just in terms of their
Netherlands,
auto-attack range,
Italy,
but their ability to do damage from a
UK,
very far
London,
distance
who
and
gives a
kinda just
shit,
get
bro?
out without much of a scratch. So
They're not real places
still
to
an
me.
opportunity to try to bait out, you know, slicing Maelstrom from 369 and then just, you know, kind of chain of corruption him in
Don't matter
position
when you're
and
from
just not even
US
deal
of
with him
A,
at
bro.
all.
Spoiler alert.
And
We don't give a
certainly
shit what your
angles
country's
for
called.
G2. So I'm very
But it's not a
excited to see
country.
what
I don't
we
give a
are going to
shit.
see in
We don't
terms
care.
of
Nobody
the
cares.
back and forth team fights in this one. As speaking of which, Cap's just gonna find an extra tree in that bush that's not quite supposed to be there.
Yeah, a little bit surprising for Tian.
No lane swap again. I respect
it. A
it.
little bit of health advantage can make big plays possible later on as Mickey.
Face check.
Speaking of which, he is going to have to jump over the wall
trade
here.
+1 pot already.
He's taking a big chunk down in that bottom lane.
We're having a kid in.
He's not going to be feeling too good about that
Gonna
one.
walk all the way around.
Meanwhile, 369 just taking a bit of harass himself. Tian,
Ooh, the
level
Maokai
2
invade?
on the blue buff, and now he's entering Yikes jungle.
Very aggressive already coming out from
Ed?
Tian.
Okay, maybe we're about to see a good Maokai.
Yike is going to be towards the top side. This looks like good scouting on the behalf of Top Esports and their coaches and analysts identifying, Yike really likes starting the top half of the map. He's going to be going for this clear, and Tian, that means that you have time if you just do one buff.
I don't think that Ward on Raptors is too good either.
Yeah, I mean, level 2 advantage here for the bottom lane of Top Esports. They get a
Jesus.
huge health advantage on top of this, especially in the support role, as... You know, not too surprising.
Spot him now. He's got to hurry.
After Mickey X did face check the brush, and
I don't know if he'll make it. This will be close.
As here comes Yike. He is going to be spotted. He is level 3 and over the wall.
Oh, he got it just in time. Oh my God.
Just in time for Tian to get away with his buff.
And that is a brutal position to be in as Yike yet another situation where these jungles end up falling behind simply because they do not have the same kind of
I think the Yike's been gapped every game.
They do, and now Top
in the last
Esports will
2 days.
allow Tian to clear out his entire side of the jungle. He still has Gromp, the Wolves, and his entire northern quadrant to actually play around. However, it does mean that the top side of the map
show this
will
mid
be
matchup
left
more.
to its own devices for a little while as the Caps clone
I want to see why this
does
LeBlanc
actually
is so feared.
relatively
Pro play.
early on. But Tian
Ooh,
has
that
so
missed.
much freedom to move around the map now simply because Yike is going to be trying to find something on the top half of the map.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the Caps dominating this mid lane matchup. He is going to get on in there. We'll see just how aggressive he wants to get. He's going to start on the Raptors and knows that he will not be affected here for just a moment. Tian is about to figure this out, as we just saw Yike find out about his own red buff. They will spot each other here
Yona's
in
moving
the
up river.
jungle, and that is going to be Yike only taking the Raptors, so he will not be able to get the red buff, and Mako
But he
has
runs back.
already roamed up here to mid, alongside a Mickey X who's following him up, so a lot of follow rooms here from both sides.
It just is an entire party from everyone on both sides.
And actually going back to the
some of the
red
issues that
as
we saw
expected.
previously. Yike is fully on a
Too
wall,
late?
so
It should be
not
too
able to
late,
pick
right?
up this red
Yeah, it's
buff
too late.
at all as Tian does smite that one away, but could potentially go for something a little bit more aggressive as look to potentially hop the wall into the Krugs, does not in fact get spotted as we just see
And a little
these very
support
small
1v1
skirmishes
as
across
well?
the board.
Yep, we got supportal combat here.
There we
on the bottom
go.
River. That's barely going to go the way of Mako, and Cream, meanwhile, is going to get that knock up in mid and start to slowly but surely find a way back here in this matchup. Early on, that should go the way of LeBlanc, and Caps is doing a great job of exerting that pressure in the mid lane, as you would expect.
Hate Rumble.
But still, Tian doing a really good job at managing where Yike can go because Yike didn't have anything to farm, finds themselves on the top side of the map, trying to create some opportunities for Broken Blade, but not going to be able to find that
Low
game
key,
whatsoever,
bro.
and Tian showing himself will allow Broken Blade to crash.
He's
this
going
wave
to
into
TP
the
back
top
to
side
this.
turret,
Maybe
but
we
it
can
is
stop
going to
him.
still be a good wave position up here for Broken Blade, as he does have
Maybe
at
wanted
least
to, he could have.
somewhat of a freeze to deny some minions from his opponent.
Yeah, does feel pretty good up there in the top side for Broken Blade. Now, we are going to see Caps TPing back into mid here. Cream was winning out in some of those trades.
I mean, he's actually
in
up
the
CS
mid
here,
lane
but
and has caught up a decent amount in terms of CS. So Cream should feel pretty good about the way that one did go for the last 30 seconds.
Kareem?
Tian,
Is that
once
it?
again, very
Not
proactive,
Cream,
looking
it's
for another
Kareem?
angle here, maybe down on the bottom side of the map, as Ansama
Got
is
his
going to find the
cleanse.
tree once again, does proc that cleanse, as that TP is just going to go into the mid lane.
A really good cleanse coming out from Ansama, very timely.
Nice
Does
miss.
mean that nothing further comes of that, but Tian is going to be a little bit ahead. One of the downsides of actually going for this early on invade is that none of your camps are cycled.
Trying to get level 6.
Going aggressive, and
Then he won't
Tian
die. There it is.
Is around.
Caps, yeah, he's going to lose that distortion as well, but yeah, not going to dive LeBlanc. Definitely kind of a fool's errand if you did want to try to go for that one, especially at level
No
6.
magic mantle.
But
It doesn't LeBlanc just instantly lose once you buy merc treads or
very
like,
close
fucking
in a lot of these lanes. And you know,
Negatron
once we
cloak?
hit that tipping point, once someone gets that
I love
first
that countered
kill,
LeBlanc.
they could easily run away with this one. Decent gold lead early on for G2 without any kills so far, just CS leads in mid and top. doing the majority of that gold lead.
Yeah, a lot of it will equal out here in just a moment.
Unlucky fruit spawn.
G2 is going to be sending Caps good to get that fruit, but the other major thing is we will see this gold lead tip back towards Tian relatively shortly, unless Yike is able to pick up some of these grubs without any contest. And now 369 running back into the map is going to get there a little bit too late, and Tian not looking like they're going to be contesting this set of grubs whatsoever. So good stuff to Yike. It does make Caps in the side lane not necessarily known for being the best champion at taking the turrets, but very good at getting to them in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the threat that LeBlanc has to push lanes and get out scot-free just allows you that extra leash to push on in, get
Spawn
down
the river at 6 minutes of every game? Yeah, but the spawn differs.
Risk.
Dumbass.
See 369 dashing around a lot. Looks like he did have to run all the way back to lane, as you were mentioning before. Isn't too far behind and should be okay. Still waiting for that first kill as Mako here in the mid lane, maybe trying to get something done onto Caps, but Mako himself only level 5.
I mean, Yone's at Boots
and
power
no
spike, so
to fight over
what do they
at
do?
this point in time, so nobody making their way
Kinnon's
into the
gonna
top
one-shot
order.
everything? Dude, that's what I was saying before I got interrupted.
And no
I think
trade
Kinnon's
for
been
the
good for
Dragon
his
either
win
after
rate
the
against
grubs
solo
were
queue.
picked up.
Play
It is
doesn't
gonna be
correlate, but
top
I think
esports,
Kinnon's been
not
is so
necessarily
strong.
the same
His
kind
ult
of
is so
explosive
strong.
early game, or not, I mean, just aggressive early game that we were
His
seeing
win
from
rate
them
doesn't,
in
like,
the first game
show
of the
that.
series. No Zyra means
I
it's
hate playing
a
as that
lot
champ.
hard to go for the tri lane because, as Ox pointed out, you don't have the same amount of time as a Maokai. You just have so much freedom to stay down here in the bottom lane when you're the Zyra, because you do every single
I hate
camp
Maokai.
without looking at it. But now Tian going to be starting up this dragon, does have Mako in the jungle, and Jackie Love could rotate over.
Knows how to play Kinnon. I mean, that's true, because a lot of times you
Party
play
in the
Kinnon,
mid
they're
lane
one
as
tricks. They
well.
do the
This
dumbest
should
shit.
be an objective
It's
going
like
over
Kinnon
top
one tricks do
esports.
bonus
You
damage.
would
It's
imagine
weird.
that it just gets taken down here without much contest from the side of G2. Although, as I say that, I mean, Caps is dashing on over, wants to get.
Doesn't Jackie Love have a Kaisa skin, actually?
And maybe poke their head in and see what they can see.
Wasn't
as
that the
word goes
IG?
in, the smite is there, and Top Esports get the dragon without much of a contest. Although Mickey X is
forgot.
trying to aggressively posture here, and he will be able to hop away.
Oh yeah, and he's
As
using
Pharrell
it.
Not
Yeah.
in too much danger here. We
Flex.
see the equalizer up in the top side. Looks like Broken Blade went for a very aggressive trade himself.
No kills just quite yet, though, Valdez, is everyone just able to get out of everything. I am expecting to see, whoa, not that.
Yeah, the lease right at the end of it. Cream is going aggressively in, and Caps just on the run here, but gets knocked up. As the clone
Plus 25.
is going to be chased in the river. And meanwhile, down on the bottom side, here's Tan once again.
dead.
And he's got Nature's
No flash
Grasp.
angle.
That will be the first
Ooh,
blood
Maokai
given
gets it, it's a
over
little
to
bit
the
bad.
Maokai. At 9 minutes, it comes a little bit late, but Top Esports get the job done.
Finally does come through, and Top
I mean, they're just
Esports has
inferior.
a small gold lead, it looks like, for the first time this game, as they will be able to find that kill down in the bottom side. Unfortunately for Top Esports, like you said, it will be going over towards the Maokai. They would have loved to put that into Jackie Love, and at the same time, with Maokai committing down towards the bottom side, here comes the cross map.
Okay, he's
Yike
dead.
has not used his
Oh,
ult
and he
yet,
just
and
used
that
that.
is the
Wait,
dash
wait,
out
if
of
he's
369,
still ult
and
flashes?
here it is, the flash away, slicing Maelstrom immediately as Yike is
But they
under
did
the
not combo.
tree.
Yike is so bad.
He will go
He is, okay, to be fair to G2, that jungle is dog
But
shit.
here is Caps in the top lane, and immediately he trades
He's a
it back.
three-man.
So
Bro, I
G2
never see this Yike guy
gets a
actually
little
play
shaky
well.
there
Like,
at
EU
first, but
slander
they do
aside,
at
is
least create a
Yike
kill back.
like
Really good
G2's
roam
weak
up
link?
from Caps,
I
making
think he
sure that
actually
the
is.
Kill does end up going over. I feel as though the
Like, I think
ultimate
he's,
comes through
like,
from
I've,
Yike,
just these
knowing
couple
the
games
flash
I've
is
watched,
still
it's
up
like,
a
he's
little bit.
very
Breeze
clearly
taking
the
a
worst
look
on the
at it
team.
As soon as Yike shows himself, we see 369 running away. The flash comes through, the ultimate comes through, and too many tower shots end up getting taken down.
He was
But
good at
369,
MSI.
he's a bit big
I
for
don't
his
know.
britches,
My,
but
just
realizes
from
that
watching
there's
these
a corner.
games,
Oh boy, meanwhile, looks like Broken
He's
Blade
dead.
has
I have ult.
overstayed his welcome. Mako
Nope.
looking to
He's
punish
still
this
dead.
one as he's in the alcove, and he can
maybe
run
Mercreds might
around
save
in there,
him.
but one Q will get the job done. Even Solar Flare as well, as somehow he gets a
Aftershock
equalizer off,
kill.
actually, to push
Oh
the
my
lane
God.
back. So not half bad there. Won't take any turret damage or plates to go to Top Esports, but he still goes down, and Top
Velvet's one
Esports
trick?
will still enjoy the kill.
I'm sure I played with them when I was in EU. I played with everybody, but I can't remember.
Though G2 are ready anywhere on the map to make a play happen. Yike does not have the ultimate available just quite yet, but they could potentially still look for a dive on the bottom side as Mako leaves some pressure mid.
Yeah, Caps just have the Mimic Distortion. That's going to get this TP, though, out of the side of G2 as it is Broken Blade. Does not have the Equalizer and not quite enough damage to get on top of him. Mako will respond with a Respect Flash to come out, but now Broken Blade. Awkward spot, but here comes Darrell. The engage on a 2. The Magnetstorm is huge as everybody on the side of G2
Why
is
did
here,
they
and they
fight
do
that?
collapse and get
Kaisa
2 kills
top?
in the mid lane.
A great
Maokai on
coming through
Rubs.
from G2 to find multiple kills, gives them over right here to Broken Blade. A much needed money going over towards the top laner at the same time, and both AD carries just wailing away on the side lane turrets as we get another teleport to come through as so much pressure being relieved across the board. But G2 finally pulling ahead in this game with a couple of kills going their way.
I think there's no other way he would have missed that.
Some free time with the turret on bot. Jackie Love has some free time himself as Caps. He's been such a huge menace. It feels like he's pulling a lot of attention towards him, but he's LeBlanc. He's totally fine. He has not died at all, as he will just distort away from the enemy team, as it does look like Hansama should be able to get the first turret blood, even against the 2 members of Top Esports. We'll see what this race looks like, but
first turret
looking good for Hansama right now.
Hansama is able to just step so far forward here because
I don't know. Hansama got a free game playing good.
369 has no idea where so many of the members of G2
Is it Varus as well?
He has no
Against
opportunity
FlyQuest?
trying to contest
when they had
the
Sinnoh?
bottom lane structure. So it will be the first.
He actually ended up getting like 9 kills.
Very quickly matched, but still, a little bit of extra goals. Tiana has to run.
Yeah, he has to get away from this one as a Q could come down from Mickey X, and Tian just has to go back in. He knows he's going down here without much recourse, although here comes Cream. He's going to line up 2, and now the re-engage from the side of Top Esports. A lot of low health bars, but they can't quite get a kill. Finally, Jackie Love will get 1, but he has to flash away. Mickey X, the second to eventually fall as they're diving Jackie Love in the top lane, and they will take him down.
We win these, bro.
Such a huge menace on this Yone. And that is going to be the route here. Unbound Soul.
Nice! Let's go, mid gap. Miffy in the Miffy, baby. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Both of these mid laners are everywhere in so many of these fights, but Cream coming out a little bit ahead when all is said and done, probably because 369 the far side also getting even more money. But Cream just finding so many of these small opportunities. Another ultimate in that one to just
make it to dragon in time, maybe not.
Alive for a little bit longer. However, another dragon is spawning, and it looks as though G2 looking to create pressure here and push 369 away from this side of the map.
Hansama's just on a ward. He has no idea as he's getting flashed on by a Maokai, but it might actually bite them back as no Hansama.
Wow, he didn't flash that. I don't think. Wow, I can't believe he didn't flash that, Leono. I don't think it matters. I think he flashes it. It's still a 1 for 2. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And they should be able to get this
That's what I'm
Infernal
talking
Drake
about.
as well.
And it has to be a tragedy here for all the G2 fans, all the LEC, the European fans trying to find some opportunity to turn things back on Top Esports. It's been back and forth so far, but these last couple of plays just going in favor of Top Esports really creates a big question.
Yep,
for the
and they
rest
get
of the
second
game
dragon as well.
Top Esports, it feels
Rift
as
Herald
though
doesn't
their
matter.
composition is a little bit easier to play in some ways. You have the Kennen, you have the Yone, who can both.
I mean,
a lot of
at
pressure
least
in the
TL
side
games were
lanes,
competitive,
and
I'll say
they don't
that.
ever have to get battle G2. They can just fight him anyway.
Caps just isolated, has nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down, and the 2 carries right now are Cream and Jackie Love, and the 2 of them come together.
Hey,
to just absolutely
at least,
assassinate.
hey, at least NA was competitive. I'll say that. You guys are getting shit on. We played the world champs.
Not able to
had leads.
way out of that death. Now it is
Okay,
going to be the
you
Red
guys,
Belt that does
no
go over
leads,
to G2,
getting shit on.
But at this point in time, just
Perfect
kinda
game.
feels
Like, this is
a
embarrassing, bro.
small gift compared to what Top Esports are getting.
And Hansama, like you said, having no idea.
They could have flat. I don't think it was. I think it was dead.
Was looking to push out 369 earlier, potentially looking for a bit of a play, but doesn't have the same kind of burst.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is if TL, you take that TL team and you put them in LEC, they're like back to back to back to back to back LEC champ.
A little bit in danger of potentially making a similar mistake. Does have some friends in the back pocket, but there's a lot of Top Esports members here.
They're going to spot him as the Rel is pretty good at getting out of the first engage. Can he get out of the second one?
Dead.
The comes down on a Hansama.
Or at least he has to flash. That extends so far. Oh, vibe block.
Away just to survive. Meanwhile, the Nature's Grasp
we flashed it.
Extended up to Yike. He's going to have to flash away himself. And
I mean, you gotta be
Esports,
be real with yourself. The only reason that this is even G2 playing instead of FlyQuest is because FlyQuest absurdly threw.
Just a little bit of minion
Like 2
damage
games,
to
like
the
to be
tower
fair.
gods.
So
However, it is
G2
still
almost
Top
lost to
Esports
FlyQuest.
putting a bit
Obviously,
more
they're gonna
pressure.
get
Now,
washed
one
by
of the
Top.
big things
As
that
I
we're
said,
gonna be looking
to
at yet
Top
again,
2-0. I
Broken
said that,
Blade,
by
we
the way.
put some pressure
Several
on
times.
him
I
at
wasn't
the very
memeing, I wasn't
beginning.
kidding.
He got the first pick in the entire game. He's on this rumble. He is up about 1,000 gold, but when you look at the rest of the map, it doesn't look nearly as good for the side of G2, and that means that so much of their damage is going to have
Finals
to
are
come from the
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be T1 versus Top Esports tomorrow.
Jungle as well, but it still feels like Tana's done more.
I'm not sure
so
what
far in
time.
this
Same
game,
time?
right? I mean, yeah, I got that ult in top lane where they traded 1-for-1, and then it wasn't a great situation. It feels like he hasn't gotten a lot of value out of that extremely
Ring for T1, absolutely, as always.
So it's been a bit of a struggle
As always,
for
T1
him.
fan here. T1,
Whereas on the
T1.
side of Top Esports, they have the gold in the right pockets, right?
They're my
It's in
tournament
Leone, it's
favorites. I
in
predict them to win.
Kaisa, who are both, you know, about to hit 2 items, at least in the case of the Yone. Kaisa's already got it. Mako thinking about getting there onto Broken Blade, but not going to overextend as Top Esports going to
It's best of
enjoy about
5.
a 1,500 gold lead here in the mid game.
At the same time, we also got to look at the fact that we are blessed
Not
once again,
this.
Valdez,
Finals is
with the
best of 5.
Hex Soul in this game, as we get to see Jackie Love over 1,000 gold on anyone else in the game. In fact, his lane opponent, Hans Sama, the closest player in the entire game. But as the Rift Herald does crash,
No, I said T1,
about 2
T1.
minutes left on the Hextech
T1,
Dragon. We're going to
T1.
have to look at how Top
T1,
Esports
T1.
can continue to build up some of these small advantages. They got 4 dragons straight in that last game. They've gotten 2 more, 6 dragon streaks so far. Probably more than that, honestly, if we look at their previous series. But Top Esports have had so much control. And like we said at the beginning, they have a lot of dangerous ults that you have to be aware of. A lot of redundant crowd control coming from the side of Top Esports. And so, if Yike goes in, if
break,
Caps goes
dominate.
in, suddenly
I love
it's a
Kit Kat.
very dangerous place to be, because once you go in, it's very difficult to get out.
They're not getting out. I mean, there's just
One thing
so
I'll
much
say positive about
lockdown from
EUS,
slicing
my
Maelstrom,
manager
the
brought me
Nature's Grasp,
Oreos from
the
Germany.
Solar Flare, even the Leona
Like
can be
cookies
very
and
good at
sweets,
feeling
like
Mako's
chocolates
in
on
the right
EUS
spot.
or EU,
Top
much
Esports,
better.
they've found
Like
a
even
lot
the
of picks
Kit Kat's much
themselves.
better.
They don't even necessarily have to do that, but I think if you find a couple of members of G2 that are out of position, you can still look for opportunistic picks from their side, and they've been pretty good.
Now I
about
got some
doing that,
great
but also not
all-American food.
overextending and getting out of position, because really where their bread
What
is
a classic
going
on
is
this
in
beautiful
that
Saturday.
disengage and
Eating
kinda
some fried
re-engaging
chicken while I
from
watch
a
the EU get
good
their ass
position
beat.
for them.
America.
Sam is he's in his own jungle, but he is spotted. It doesn't look like G2 are going to overextend for him, but they're certainly trying to set up some vision here around the next dragon.
I mean, they have first touch, and the gold's not that bad. I don't see their win con. Vi ult with Rumble ult.
Position here with just the amount of poke that will be coming through.
Everybody's
Jacula
sums are up. They have
does
Rift
the
Herald
2
still?
items. Suddenly that W becomes, oh, it's not quite evolved just quite yet, but he is getting very close.
I mean, this
But
is
still,
really
Top
early.
Esports, they have the Maokai to push things around. They also have plenty of opportunities for Cream and 369 to potentially teleport to very dangerous flanks.
Dragon's
They
up
will
for
be
another 20,
teleporting Yone
15.
into the mid lane. But with the Dragon still spawning about 10 seconds.
Sama
Top
kind of
Esports will
walking
be able
up
to
here
take
like a
control of the mid lane
psycho.
first.
Yeah, the mid prio definitely going to be very important.
Oh, they just
They're
go.
just going to flash onto the block. Not sure about that one, but honestly, it's still working as the Nature's Grasp.
They're weird
puts
fights.
himself in
I don't know.
such an excellent
Not a dive,
position.
bro. These are
And
weird
now
fights.
slicing Maelstrom.
Really good kid in play.
Finds all of the front line of G2.
That was
They
weird.
all
That was
get
like I
decimated,
didn't know what
and
to
it's a
say. Like I was
triple
watching, I was like,
kill
wait,
for
what's
Jackie
happening?
Love.
369 doing so
Okay, I got
much
double
work in creating
distorted
space,
under
but
tower.
Jackie Love, the
Had a
big
flash.
recipient of all
He
of
flashed on the
those
block.
kills coming through.
They'll
A
just die.
massive gold lead and a massive actually coming
It's
through.
third
for
dragon.
Top Esports.
That's
They're gonna
mid.
get
This is a
mid lane turret.
wash.
There should be
Bring
a
on the
quality
interviews.
turret. They're going to be getting this Hextech Dragon as well. Every single one of these advantages just stacking itself up right after each other for Top Esports. And Valdez, it might be a little too early to call this one, but it's starting to feel very demoralizing for the G2 fans. That looked like it could have been a fight where Top Esports was overextending and G2 were not able to capitalize.
I mean, the engage.
Tristana one-trick loss
I
because they,
hardly
well,
was even
spoiler
able
alert,
to
they get
react
Tristana.
to it. It was just, you know, they saw G2 in mid lane and they said, okay, we're just going to send it. And they didn't have to do this, but it worked out so well.
Renata blew her stun, was like running back and forth, just got comboed out.
And the ult distortion to get out means that he doesn't have
walked into Maokai, didn't even ult.
He tries to jump onto Jackie,
that was such a, like, they just got shit on. That was a bit embarrassing.
Space in the rest of the fight. Jackie Love is free to hit whoever he wants, and turns out he wanted to hit everybody.
And that he did. You know, if you're the ones being proactive, diving into them, it can be hard for G2 to kind of turn the damage onto the right targets, especially when everybody's kind of floundering, trying to get away from the engage. And so Jackie Love just... and
they're saying, like, guys, we can still win.
Time in the world to take down those kills. Now he's got
Relax.
6 on the
Top's not going to pull an
NA
and throw.
Too often, but when it comes out and when it gets fed, you can see the power of this pick in this position specifically, especially once you begin to build some AP
Caps
and you
blind?
can just poke people down. As now looks like Caps is caught once again, but they're trying
Holy
to get on top
shit,
of Jackie
what
Love,
the-
and they will. It's a shutdown out of the heart, but no, they're so out of position.
Boom!
And
Oh, wait.
everybody on the
Yeah,
side
boom.
of G2 is once again going to be caught up.
I mean, they
here.
dove him. They got the
sacrifice
bounty, but
Jackie Love, but they take 3 people with them.
And
I think this is the block
G1,
pick
he's not
is-
gonna can do anything about this
I've been
Baron
seeing
as
it
does
banned
go
all
down.
day,
Jackie Love
like
has
last
his
couple
full
of days.
water. He
I
knows,
think it's so
that was,
trash.
That was fine. The rest of my team does have this after all. 369.
I think Top drafted really good against it because they have, like, all easy to hit CC.
But he has nothing to say.
Yeah, Caps, he's desperate to just try to do whatever he can, as now Yike is going to get into the backside of this pit, but Top Esports, they're not going to take any risks
steal it, bro.
with this
Steal
one.
it.
They're going to stop hitting the Baron. They immediately...
Wow! NA, take notes,
really
you
have an angle
idiots!
to get into this one. It is pretty low, and he nearly does get in there, but...
Like,
it's
NA,
not
take
quite
notes!
Now Mako,
Fine,
you see
G2
Mickey
lost
X,
as well,
he's
it's
like, maybe
fine.
I can get in on the action.
It's
well,
fine.
The answer is no. Well, I suppose he does get in on the action, but he'll just immediately
It's fine,
die. As
thank
the kill
God
will go over to Jackie
EU
Love
also
and Top
lost.
Esports.
Fine.
They are
We're
running
both
away
going
with
home. I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm a T1 fan anyway. Like, T-Look kind of baited me, but I'm fine with it now.
And the chants are also starting to get pumped in from the arena's
Fuck
top
it.
esports fans.
We
So
can
many
both
traveling
take the
here to
same
the
connecting
arena
flight.
Are ecstatic. That
Cheers,
their team
guys.
is starting to come
See you at the
up
airport,
with
EU.
so many of these plays. And G2, the desperation that we were talking about them feeling before is in full effect now. Caps.
We can
doesn't have
take the
money to
same
really
Uber,
play in
bro.
these games.
Let's go.
Broken Blade, who had a lead up against 369 for so much of the game, has now fallen behind after a couple of massive team fights from 369.
We'll take a look at the replay once again. It's, you know, they get the pick. They're trying desperately to do what their comp does, which is press your Vialt, get an equalizer on top, and get a kill. And they do that. But
I mean,
then this happens.
Yeah, 369 finding it full.
It was so
ultimate
desperate,
on
but
top of
LeBlanc is
Gonzalo
literally
just
not a
means that
champion.
The bars goes down very quickly, and with so many resources spent on trying to take on Jackie Love, you have nothing left for the rest of the team, and now we'll see how many structures they can get. Ultimate's already out.
Yeah, they're just
I mean, he
pushing
can't
forward.
play.
The Nature's Grasp going to
Look at
create
this shit.
so
Look at
much.
this.
Caps is just flying all over the map, and now Cream is going to get in there as well. The damage, the equalizer is actually very nice, but do they have the follow-up? It looks like the answer is absolutely no, as Cream just walks
gotta be a little bit that wasn't that
He even gets
bad.
away alive. Not sure why he was walking that way, but you know, it's fine. He survives,
They had a
and
mid.
Top Esports still have a minute left on their Baron buff.
However, they have lost a lot of those health bars, so even though they lost a mid lane turret and a kill from Yike, it does mean that Top Esports will not have nearly as much, but the teleport comes out from Cream, Jackie Love backing away, so there is a small opportunity here for a 4v4 with no ultimates. It's going to be very difficult to make anything happen as more and more gold will be going over. A 4,000 gold power play gets to 5,000 here as another turret actually falls. And crucially here,
I mean, we tried to bait the Leona so we could pick a Varus Rel.
Responding Top Esports have set themselves up for some
Did it perform?
gold
I'm going to say
backs.
no.
Yeah, they get all this gold, they put it over their shoulder, they bring it to the shopkeeper, they buy probably nearly a full item, and then they fight for Hextech Soul. As Caps might just die. The power of the Kaisa
so
really
strong.
being felt here, but did Jackie Love go too far?
4 items.
We've seen him do it
No, he's
many
3.
a time, but it looks like he will be just fine in this case, as Caps
He
is
went
gonna be the
barrier.
one
Bro, they
leading
love
the
this
way.
Static Shiv, Rage
Top
Blade,
Esports just muscle their way
Nashor's
into
build. I
the
played it.
southern
It was
quadrant
alright.
of the
My
map,
support
and
sucked.
now G2 have to be so careful every single brush they want to try and check. You never know which one has a sapling or a Maokai or a cannon in it. And at the same time, Top Esports is going to be
Soul
cleaning
point.
up the dragon. They're going to be starting it, and Yike not even able to get to the dragon.
It's gone, bro.
He just can't get in.
Like your chances of winning,
Just the
gone.
security guard right in the front. Hansama already has to cleanse before the fight even really begins. They find Yike, and he is just isolated. Down he goes.
What was
the
that?
equalizer doesn't hit
This is
anyone.
cringe.
And now Top Esports
Not
gonna
a bad Renata ult,
right into that back
but
line. It is an
Kinnan,
absolute
369.
decimation as
GG.
they clean them up in the middle.
EU!
Top Esports, they might have just booked themselves a ticket.
EU!
369 only rolling 9 so far in this game. This cannon looks monstrous, and now Top Esports, like you said, 10,000 gold in the lead, 26 minutes in. G2 have to rely on Caps to try and do something to keep this game going.
Oh, and he's just
Not even a competitive game! Not even, you got 2-0! You didn't even fight back, bro! You just got embarrassed, bro! At least we threw, right? We won a game and then threw against the the defending world champions, by the way. You lost to who?
2-0. Top Esports will move on to the finals of the Esports World Cup.
They get the revenge for the win that G2
Safe travels, guys.
and they get
Or not. Safe travels. Safe travels, guys. Fly safe. Fly safe.
They demolished Gen G.
GG, I'm gonna be flying home soon. GG, flying home. GG. Yep, GG, you beat the out of us. GG, out of us.
Trophy here in Riyadh.
Yeah,
not even
honestly,
competitive, bro. Not even
impressive
competitive.
Stuff from these guys from Top Esports. They look unstoppable, and so far they have been. They have not dropped a single game.
Hey, cheers, guys. Cheers.
And man, who is going to stop them? There's only one team that has the potential, which will be T1, who Top Esports will face in the finals tomorrow of EWC presenting League
That means
of
finals?
Legends. But honestly, Top Esports got to be
finals
the
is
favorite
tomorrow.
going into that one, the way they have been playing the last couple of days.
The biggest thing to me is just seeing how clinical their games have been. Game 1, we said was the most clinical game. Game 2 was a little bit dirtier, but that is okay because every single time they go back, they spend their money, they go, what's next? And that seems to be something that they do better than any team, not just in this tournament, but
got
any
chicken
team
grease
in
on this
the
one.
world right now.
Absolutely. Shout out to
her,
G2 as well.
hey, you know
They
who
make it into the
we rooting for, baby?
semifinals. They take down FlyQuest. They give it
T1,
here,
T1,
but they will
T1,
fall short
T1,
and
T1.
to face the hydraulic press.
What time?
which,
I actually don't know.
Has been a fate many teams have faced here at EWC, but
Come on, hand over the keys.
we do have
Still
an
smiling
interview on
Caps.
stage ready to go. Let's hand it over to the stage right now.
By my side is Top Esports Mako. First of all, congratulations to Top Esports for making it into the finals of the
That's
EWC
best of 5 tomorrow.
presenting League of Legends. Can we get a round of applause?
Bro, imagine if NA would have
Secondly,
won.
can we
Oh my
please
god.
have the leader of G2 to present their key towards the front of the stage where their dreams will be crushed by Top Esports and their journey will end here.
He ran off stage. He had to run back on stage.
Can we get a round of applause for G2, everyone?
Oh.
So for our interview, I wanted to start
Crush
off
that
that you
shit.
guys are currently undefeated at the League of Legends tournament in EWC. How's the team feeling making into the finals? 首先，我想恭喜一下 Mako 选手成功进到 EWC 的决赛。
She was self-translating. I knew it.
就是我们来这个就是为了夺冠来的。
We are here to become the victors of EWC. Well, my next question.
That is what that is good shit.
G2, where you guys were eliminated by G2 at MSI. So what's changed since then for you guys to take this 2-0? 其实上次你们打 G2 是在 MSI， 然后是0-3被淘汰了。所以这次有没有做什么调整？
This guy, he has a lot to say. I like this guy.
做了挺多调整的，包括 BP 上面，然后还有我们游戏里面做了一些针对他们的很多想法吧，然后包括他们的 BP 我们也研究了很久。
We've actually made a lot of adjustments coming into tonight's best of 3, especially for the ban pick phase, and luckily we were able to pull through. Now finally, your opponents in the finals.
Bro, I would get so
will be
confused, like
T1.
speaking in a language,
So,
then
what do you
speaking
think
another
of their
language, then
progression so far
in
at the
taking in it,
EWC,
and then
how will you go up against them. 所以
Turned my head even thinking
对
about.
手是 T1， 然后我们也看到今天晚上 T1 赢了 Team Liquid， 所以你对他们的这个队的状态怎么样呢？
我觉得最近 T1 打得也挺好的，但是我们其实蛮久没交手了，很期待这次决赛的交手。
I feel like T1 is also in a very good
And hey,
form
Brain,
right now, and
I only
I'm
need to know
excited
one
to
language
verse
for this
them in
goddamn
the
greatest
finals.
country.
So finally, what do you have to say for the fans? Because this is the time that Top Esports will be making it into the EWC finals for League of Legends. 有没有什么想对粉丝们说的？因为这是首进 AWC 的决赛。
来到就这个地方，能感觉到就粉丝的热情特别高嘛。
Why does it keep? Yeah.
然后就是感谢大家来这边看我们比赛，然后也非常感谢，因为现在国内应该是非常晚了，然后感谢大家熬夜看我们比赛吧，辛苦大家。
This is my first time being in the EWC and especially the finals, and I really want to thank the fans, especially the Chinese fans that are staying up late to watch this.
And me.
谢谢梅克选手。
I
After
watched
this
it.
interview, we're gonna have the team captain crushing the key of G2, but first of all, we're gonna send it to AD.
All right. Thank God. Thank God, bro. All right. That means Team Liquid's loss feels so much better. Like, I'm fine now, honestly. I'm fine with it. All right, let's play a couple of solo queue games and I'm done. I gotta eat too. Anybody know what my stream title was before it got changed? Can anybody like copy paste it in the chat if they remember? It was something about. Yeah, I was like drive BS because I remember I was coming up with this brilliancy. I was like drive be best, better, more. Road one way car, fast, accelerate, tops, danger, me. Yeah, this is a good title. I need that back. I'm the danger. A good ass title. Let's 5-head. I did a cook with this one.
Break. Have a Kit Kat.
It's time to reduce AD damage and give evolution-like buff when someone healing or controlling champs around. AD has no place in top or mid.
I mean, I don't think Corky mid's that bad like that. I think it's just Triss, to be honest. But then again, I think Vayne top is annoying. I don't know. I'm talking about it a lot. I don't actually know what they can do to get Vayne out of top lane. Or Trist out of mid. So, I don't know. Reduce solo XP? That's not it. I mean, both those champs are not that good bot lane. Vayne and Triss. They're not. Triss takes too long to scale. She needs levels. Vayne gets abused. So they're not actually playable AD carry. Most of the time. So if you nerf anything mid lane, they're just worse AD carry. I don't know. Or like top, there's worse AD. G2 lose 2-0? Yep, as predicted. They got their ass beat 2-0, but like I said, they shouldn't beat the flag quest, so it is what it is. Mages are strong. No, mages are strong, bro. Mages are strong bot lane. So it could be one of those things where the meta just changes. And like I said before, AD carry players are very obnoxious. Like, they're very one-dimensional. AD carry mains are not, that don't already play mages, will not ever play mages. They'll just stop playing, or they'll play their AD carry mid. The problem needs to happen is the AD carry mains need to go mid, and the mid mains need to go bot. Because mages are good AD right now. They are. All of them. But you can't play like champs like Jinx mid. That's true. That's true. That is true. So I don't know. Actually, I did play against Lethality Jinx mid. So who knows? Is it a Leandri's issue? What? Oh.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad? Hey man, I still remember when you started your top challenge and went Vayne top against a bronze who first picked Garen. Kind of mean, bro.
Oh, boo. Who? That kid's probably still in bronze. Top looking stronger, T1 looking stronger. I think top looks stronger, but T1 always finds a way. I need to wash my hands. Oh, is that a solo queue record? I'm supposed to play ads. Or, I forgot. Whatever. 1-2? That's right. We lost. Ugh. We lost because I'm not getting AD carry. What do you mean, ludicrous? Does it count T-low? I decayed, so right now it's D1. But it was 700 LP. Bard. Bard. Perhaps I go Kate. I don't know. I played a Caitlyn game before. She did not feel crispy. Can go Ezreal? I could. Very well could. But I'm not. Coach streaming days easy work for you? I mean, coach streaming's actually nice, bro, because you don't gotta play this bastard game. I literally said the same thing when I was watch partying the AT&T doublelift thing. It's actually just so much better than playing this piece of shit game. I kind of understand why the customers do it. Yeah, Dobbs, yeah, amen. Yeah, it's wild. Like, you kind of understand that you don't actually hate League. You just hate playing League with these people. Like, it's a people problem. I swear to God, it's a player problem. Like, watching League? I like watching League. Like, I like League, you know? I hate these shitholes that play it. I do, bro. I hate these so much. Duo make it better? I think voice comms would make it more fun, for sure. What G2 interview? Oh, it's on right now.
It's a good question. I think we kind of learned that we have to be more patient when we play a lot of these skirmishes or fights. I think a lot of times it happened, especially against FlyQuest, where we're just like going headfirst into the fight, even though we have more of like a pure comp, like the Ivern game, for example.
I don't know who is this guy.
How to play better on side lanes. That was especially for me and Yike, because sometimes we were just like showing on mid waves a lot for fun. And
this is the Milky X guy.
There'll be some takeaways. I think the scrims were quite nice, so I think we can learn a lot from those and take it into the LEC.
All right, there you have it. One of the greatest to ever do it here from Europe. It's G2's Mickey X. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you very much, brother. Thanks, Mickey. All right, let's take a look at the bracket as we move on to our final match of the tournament. It will be T1 versus Top Esports as our grand final here in the Esports World Cup presenting League of Legends.
And I feel like it's no surprise
could have been Team Liquid,
had
actually.
A couple of struggles, you know, on the back of that loss to KT they had before coming here. Top Esports really putting in a strong argument for them being the favorites in that matchup. T1 gonna have to answer a very strong foe there.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to the T1 victory because we've seen this script before, and it was a pretty obvious.
Yep, we're full T1
at the end. So looking forward to that.
And that T1 trade, baby.
Choo
choo, choo choo.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we'll see what happens there. We actually have one more piece of content for y'all back on home. Standing by right now with our post-game interview is Yike as well from G2. Let's hear from him.
Wait, where's my... I thought it would be my piece.
Hi everyone, Ginny joined here with G2 Yike. Unfortunate event against Top Esports. I want to talk about that experience considering the fact that in MSI it was a clean 3-0. What was different this time?
Yeah, I feel like they maybe prepared a lot better than last time. I don't know if they were like under-battering us or thinking we are worse, but this time for sure they respected us a lot, and I feel like they made good drafts, and I feel very good on the map. Also versus Genji, they feel very good, so for sure they're like a much stronger team, and they show it.
Well, they're going to the finals. You're going back to Berlin.
Audio quality.
But in terms of the experience here so far at EWC, how has it been for you?
Damn, she just hit him with the "you're going back to Berlin." Damn.
I didn't expect it to be so nice. Like the food is very, I really like the food here. The atmosphere is nice. I like the whole, every people I met as well is like a lot of new people, and they're all very nice. So I've had very fun.
What about the heat though? Because it's raining in Berlin right now. Are you missing the rain?
Yeah, I'm a guy who really likes the rain, so it's gonna be nice to go back to the rain. But yeah, it's very warm here. It's kind of nice during the night, but during the day it's nice.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Safe travels. And keep up.
Thanks to Yike for his
Crush that
insights.
shit.
As there it is, coming synonymous with the Esports World
Also,
Cup. The
peep what
crushing of the
legendary
key
matchup I
for
just
those
got.
that have fallen.
Enemy
just a
team
bit
had the
short of their
audacity to
dreams.
lock in
There
Yorick.
it goes. G2,
I was auto-filled top
falling
lane.
short here.
Only one more key to be crushed, you know,
Boom.
6 down. And tomorrow you're going to see 2 teams go head-to-head who I think very deserving of their spots in the final.
Yeah, and as far as the ones to take,
Yes, sir.
GG and G2, not too bad here for Top Esports, and if they manage to top that off with a T1, that feels pretty good.
Yeah, especially I feel like the G2 one.
Yes,
after that
fucking
MSI defeat,
sir.
that was
I
rough,
got
you
the
know?
matchup,
And
baby.
particularly the Chinese fans can be very brutal on social media when it comes to losses to the West, so bit of redemption here. I'm sure they're glad to have
Hearing
won.
about what they were saying about BLG definitely proves your point there. Orcs,
You know what it
absolutely.
could be?
It's
It
an
could be
LPL
Yorick
versus
Jungle.
LCK affair for the first ever Esports World Cup presenting League of Legends finals. Who will win? We will find out tomorrow.
it's not.
Only one day left here at EWC. Can't wait for it. On behalf of everyone here putting on the show, we appreciate you watching. One more day. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Play of the day.